Okay, we're live a little bit early because we're getting organized here in the Hangout, and we want people to see how we organize these things as well. And I just sent a tweet out. And Audrey, we're going to talk at 12:30. Dan McDermott's going to come in, a statistician. He's going to talk about statistics on your viral video. But we were just talking about a comment, and this is, I think, typical of a lot of the comments that you've gotten, very positive. Can you go ahead and read that and comment on it again?
Oh, the one that I just read, yeah. It was a guy that I went to high school with, and in the comment he said,
Okay,
Audrey was.
we're live a little bit early because
Oh,
we're
sorry.
getting organized here in the Hangout, and we want people to see how we organize these things as well. And I just sent a tweet out. And Audrey, we're going to talk at 12:30. Dan McDermott's going to come in, a statistician. He's going to talk about statistics on your viral video. But we were just talking about a comment, and this is, I think, typical of a lot of the comments that you've gotten, very positive. Can you go ahead and read that and comment on it again?
Yeah, sure. It was just
The
one of
one
my high
read
school buddies.
that it was a
I'm hearing an echo.
Feedback from somewhere. Where's that coming from?
I don't know.
Were you hearing the feedback, Audrey?
Yeah, I think it's gone now, though.
Okay.
It was just a comment from a friend in high school who said she's like the only girl, referring to me, that talked to me in a high school, and 136 people, including myself, liked the comment. So I thought that was just
So
really cool.
let's go in, just for people that aren't aware of the video, let's go into the video a little bit in case they didn't see your show last night. This is Audrey, Hooping Live, the host of Hooping Live, hoopinglive.com. And if you go to hoopinglive.com, we do have a link there to the video. It's a video that went viral on Facebook and is still, as we speak, going viral. It's approaching 100,000 likes and almost 40,000 shares or some ridiculous number. So Audrey, give the background on that for those that didn't get a chance to watch your show last night.
The background on Hooping Live?
On the video, well, tell a little bit about Hooping Live and then the video specifically. Just a backstory on it.
Yeah, the Hooping Live is an online interactive show where hoopers and pretty much anyone who's interested in health and learning more about what hoop dance is, or dancing in general, can come and watch a live show of myself as well as my panel of hoop dancers that range in different experience levels, and learn about how to hoop and what hooping can provide for you in your life. And anyway, we have the show every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a lot of fun, and I know I enjoy doing it. So anyway,
Audrey, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Michael.
A quick question. So for people that don't know, old guys don't know what hooping is, that's hula hoop, right?
Yeah, would you like me to show you?
Sure.
So, Audrey, let's do this. First, give the backstory on the video real quick, and then we'll do a little demo to bring people up to speed on what you're talking about. But give us the quick backstory so that they know what video we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. The video was just, I make videos on YouTube of myself hula hooping to teach people or just to show them what I do, and woke up and heard the new Taylor Swift song, was super inspired by it, and I just came out into my living room, opened up my computer, and turned the song on, and thank God I recorded it. I wasn't planning on recording it. I was just kind of planning on dancing and just doing it, and if I would have planned this video, I would have used better camera and sound, and I wouldn't have used a copyrighted song, but it was just one of those songs that was pulling me to dance, so I had to do that song. I couldn't do some song that I would put over the video because it wouldn't have synced up correctly. So anyway, we did the video. I did the video. Craig helped me edit it, and I just put a message with it saying that sometimes life is hard and you have to shake off all that bad stuff, and the song's called Shake It Off. So it was just kind of, I don't know, it just all worked out together. The puzzle pieces fit well together, and it seemed to make a really positive impact on a lot of people.
Okay, so and you did it. You filmed it right there. So this will be a good demo. If you do a short little demo for us, they'll get a taste of kind of what the video was like, and then of course they can go watch the actual video on your Facebook page. We have a direct link from hoopinglive.com to that, so they can click through and look at it. And it wasn't HD quality or anything. It was just a standard definition quality, but it has just hit a chord with a lot of people. So congratulations, Audrey.
Thank you. Thanks for your help. I'm super excited about it. I mean, I know it's not millions of views, but for what it's worth.
It could be, Audrey, with the number of shares and likes that you have, it could be in the millions. Unfortunately, we don't get the number of views on Facebook like we do on YouTube. We just know how many shares and how many likes. But the numbers are huge, and a statistician is going to be coming in here in a couple of minutes to go over those numbers, and I think you're going to be kind of amazed with what he's come up with.
Wow, okay,
so
cool.
Go ahead and do your quick little demo here. And by the way, we are going to get to the Apple announcement. We just started a little bit early, a couple minutes early, talking about Audrey's viral video, her first really big video to go viral on Facebook that I know of to this extent. And so it is news, and it is something that is worth talking about. And so we're talking about that a little bit here in the pre-show. But we are going to get to the Apple rumors and all the cool Apple stuff. Apple is going to shake things off a little bit and shake things up today. I think they got a huge announcement coming, and we're going to talk about that for the whole duration of the event. We got a panel of experts coming in that'll be here fairly soon. So Audrey, go ahead, and when you're ready, go ahead and do your little demo.
Okay, cool. Let me move some furniture real quick. If you want to talk about something, you can.
Yeah, okay, no problem. And I'm just inviting a few more people in. I'm Craig Shipp. CraigShipp.com is my website. We've got Cadeas in here, but he isn't on camera yet. Again, we started the pre-show a little bit early, and I'm trying to get Brad Tech Webcast. It's 3 o'clock in the morning there in Australia, but he said he was going to get up for this event, so I'm trying to message him right now on Facebook. That's Brad Tech Webcast, and Dan McDermott is supposed to come in any minute now to help us with the stats. He's been analyzing the stats for the last couple of hours on Audrey's video, and so that is going to be very interesting to get his take on it. I learned a lot of things about the stats on these viral videos through that analysis. Are you ready, Audrey?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're cutting to Audrey Scherer. And if you imagine her dancing to Taylor Swift's new song, and this I call it hoop dance. It's much more than just the old hula hooping that you saw from the 1960s movies or whatever.
Yeah.
And they've turned this into really a dance style, and a form of flow is another term that they use. And a lot of the commenters have called it mesmerizing. I mean, it's amazing to look at the comments, and that's another thing that Dan, I didn't know that Dan was really a statistician. He's a math guy, and he's a math genius. And so he really looked at the numbers and looked at the comments and came up with some very interesting insights that we're going to share with everybody when he comes in here. Maybe I have to rattle his cage. I think he was taking a shower or something, but anyway, he'll be in pretty soon. And then we're going to
watch you do this, Audrey, because I've seen the number of your videos before that Craig has posted. But it's interesting to watch it live, and it's very balletic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's all different kinds of ways people can do it too. I mean, you can do hip hop, you can do ballet. I mean, there's incredible amounts of hoop dancers out there, and I'm
Audrey, we're having a little bit of audio problem with you. Is your mic's plugged in?
Hello?
Interesting. You might have to unplug it and plug it back in because it's siloning a little bit. The sound is a USB conflict. She will need to unplug it and plug it back in, Kadea says. Did you try that, Audrey? Say something.
Let's try this.
Okay, it's working.
Yeah, that's better now.
It's working. Cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the hoop dance. And Audrey, thank you very much for that demo.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
And so and let me just give you a little bit of the backstory on Hooping Live, and Audrey, you can chime in wherever you'd like. I don't know, it's 3 or 4 years ago when we first met there on Siesta Beach, and I saw you hooping, and I'd seen some of the other hoopers there on Siesta Beach at the drum circle there, and I was always amazed by this hooping. And then I met you, and I shot a clip of you hooping, and there was just something magnetic about you on camera that is hard to describe. It just, the way you connected to the camera was pretty amazing. And that first time that I shot a clip of you hooping, and then I said, hey, this whole hooping thing should be brought more mainstream, and somebody needs to take a leadership role in doing that. And then we talked, it was a couple of years later, really. It was a while. I got into Google Plus and all that, and then at some point we connected and came up with the idea to do the Hooping Live thing. And I think you're making some progress with it. What do you think, Audrey?
Absolutely. I think that it's really taken off. I think it's given a lot of different types of people and hoopers inspiration and the ability to get out there and hoop. Also, what I love most about Hooping Live and all of this is that it provides a platform for people all over the world to be able to watch this show and feel like they're part of a live community, which can be really hard sometimes. I remember when I was staying in Indiana, it was about 5 years ago. My mom was living there for a little bit working, and I went to stay with her, and it was a small town in Indiana, and I knew nobody, and I couldn't. There was nobody to know. I mean, there were like little baby kids and older people, so it was really hard to find anyone to hang out with. So I just hooped all day, and that's when I started recording my videos. And I just remember thinking, I wish I had hoopers to interact with, and that was 5 years ago, and it has really blown up in the past 5 years. So now you're able to find hoopers everywhere, and it's really cool though, because I think that if I had something like this 5 years ago, I would have been thrilled to be able to see a live audience of hoopers and chat with hoopers. And
yeah, and it really is amazing the interaction that you get with your show. Very similar to what Dan gets in his Google Plus Week show Friday nights, is a lot of interaction. The people that are watching really feel like they're part of the show, and they can ask you a question at any time, and in short order you're going to address the question and answer it. And it's really that back and forth and that connection that you have that I think makes the show.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, whatever makes the show good, that's what's important.
Yeah, and I think that the other important thing is here, you're creating a big umbrella, a big tent that's welcoming to all hoopers and all hoop organizations, that can tie everybody together. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't see yourself as competing with anybody. You see everybody just kind of working together, and Hooping Live being a home where they can all kind of gather on Monday nights at 9 o'clock and just have a fun time with hooping.
Yep, definitely trying to suck that competitiveness out of the community, and not all competitive, just like the negative kind. But
yeah,
I think that it's a great platform for people to learn, and even people that aren't hoopers come and watch the show, which is cool, which is something I would like to expand on, is making it entertaining for everyone.
Sure. Now, did you share the link to this show on the YouTube link, Audrey?
I don't think I did, no.
Because they might want to catch up and they might want to check that out. It's in the chat at 12:19 p.m. there, just in case any of your viewers want to check this out. And Brad Tech Webcast is on Facebook, so he should hopefully be in here fairly soon. And Dan, I'm going to rattle his cage and see what the heck is going on with Dan, because he was supposed to be here at 12:30. And I want to do this stat thing here before we get into the Apple stuff. So this is live television. This is the nature of live television. We can make phone calls right during the show and rattle people's cages. Can you give all your other contact information, Audrey, where they find you on the various platforms?
Yeah, totally. Well, if you go on, you can find me on YouTube, or if you just go to hoopinglive.com, you'll be able to find a lot of my links there. You can also, we are on Facebook, Hooping Live. There's also, I have a beauty website called Moon a la Mode, MOONALAMODE, which is a work in progress, a company I'm trying to create to reach out to the beauty community. So, yeah. Check me out there and do things with it.
Audrey, I just added you on Google Plus. I'm afraid I don't participate in those other communities. But
we have to go over. Audrey and I need to go over Google Plus a little bit. We need to get her a little more into the interacting on the Google Plus posts. We've been working on Facebook and other platforms, but we gotta now focus a little bit on Google Plus too. So we will do that for sure.
I can help you too if you need some help.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be awesome. I wanna get all of my social media platforms completely just locked down and
rocking and rolling.
Rocking and a rolling.
Dan will be in 90 seconds, and he'll give the stats rundown. I think you're going to really be interested to hear what he has to say. I know I was pretty amazed.
Yeah.
By what he came up with, and the numbers just keep flowing. I was hoping we would hit 100,000 likes during this show, and it might still happen, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen today.
Oh yeah, it's probably doable. I actually just got a text message about it. I can't find your ad.
You mean the link for this show?
Nope, his ad on Google Plus.
Oh, it may take a few minutes before you see the notification that happened.
Oh.
Well, and also the way that you can get to his profile is if you go to his thumbnail and pull down that little arrow, one of the choices is profile. And if you go to his profile, then you can add him to a circle right there.
Right.
And neat thing about Google Plus is you can pick whatever circles you want to add people to. Like you can add him to the Hangout 10 circle because he's part of the Hangout 10 thing.
Yeah, I knew that.
And so.
No, it's not there yet.
So if you go to his profile, there should be a box there that'll load in that'll give you a chance to add him to a circle.
Yeah.
Invites. I don't know. I feel like I'm being lied to.
If I share my screen with you, you could see how I added you, and then it'll be obvious how to get to mine, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Or you maybe just put your profile link in the chat. Maybe she's having trouble getting to your profile. Michael, why don't you copy and paste your profile link right into the chat?
Okay, I'll just do that. Good idea.
View profile.
Google Plus does not make it as easy as Facebook. I'll put it that way.
You're making it a little tough on me.
Yeah, they do that.
I don't think they mean to, but they don't. But it happens inadvertently, I guess.
There you go.
You know, even I'm having trouble getting a link that I can give you that will point you to my site.
What you do is you pull down the menu on the left and click on Profile. And
yeah, but then
your profile link.
But I'm a Google Apps account, so mine doesn't work that way.
So that's another bag of hurt. Yeah.
Yes.
Dan McDermott is kind of in here. We're still just seeing a still image of him, but hopefully he'll be in. Here he is. Dan McDermott.
Hey.
Dan McDermott is here.
Hello there.
I'll help you get it later.
So Dan, have you shared the link?
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll put the link in the chat, the YouTube link, Dan.
Okay.
And just to bring you up to speed, what we've done is we've talked about what Hooping Live is. We talked a little bit about the viral video. Audrey even did a demonstration of hooping for people that don't know what hooping is. And so we've done all that. And so I explained to Audrey that for the last several hours you've been digging into the stats, the numbers on this viral video. And that uncovered some really interesting information. And so could you give a little summary on that, and then
Sure.
Audrey can ask you any questions?
Yeah, I know the star of our show is Apple, and so we got like 15 minutes before that starts. But I'll tell you, there are 4 things that stand out about this, and I've done some. I took 5 different samples, and the ratio right now, let me look here, is running. What's the ratio right now on the total here? We've got it's about 2 to 1 as far as how many likes and shares, which is extraordinarily impressive. So there are 4 things that stand out about this video. One is that it's just the fact that it's going viral, which is very impressive in itself. But also the ratio of shares. Right now, I see how many likes and shares here.
Should be about 98.
It's about a 2 to 1 ratio. And then
Well,
if you look,
yeah,
it's almost 2 to 1. It's not quite. So it's at it's about 40%. For every share you get a like, or for every like, 40% of them share it, which is, I think, extraordinarily high. And if you look at the people who are sharing it, you'll see it's got a lot of international folks.
Right.
And I see a lot of these. I can't. I don't know what they're saying. I'm going to do a quick screen share showing some of the comments. This is similar.
Hey everyone.
For folks who know about Google Plus, this is similar to a feature they have called Ripples, where it shows you exactly what people are saying. So I see here, check it out, she's good, shake, shake. Foreign comment, love it. I see a lot of females sharing this. Awesome, wish I could do that. It's beautiful in a sense. So this brings up one of the other 4 things, is that it seems there's a combination here. Obviously, Audrey's easy on the eyes, and the song is a really good, popular song right now. But the shares seem to mainly be about her hooping skills, which was the goal. I couldn't do this on my best day, but I don't know who could. Love this, shake it off, fantastic, hula hoop. Almost everything, nice, wish I could do this, I'm buying a hula hoop, wow, wow, I can't do this, I try and try and try, imagine if she had a bigger room. So it's almost universally about the hula hooping. And so I think it's kind of the perfect storm. You have an attractive girl who's very good at this, but I watched it, and I draw the analogy to, I mean, obviously, Audrey, you're my friend, and I'm not just saying this to flatter you, but I draw an analogy to someone, watch it if you're watching a professional figure skater or what have you, and they make it look really easy.
Yeah.
You were just sitting there effortlessly throwing this thing around, and it was just fascinating. And I think what this tells me is I think a lot of the reason you're seeing so many shares, what's the reason someone shares something? They want to turn their friends on to something that they haven't seen before. And you don't want to share something they're not going to like. You want to share something that they're going to enjoy. So this is unique because if you don't live on a beach, and if you're not in your age group, there's a very good chance that before meeting you, I know in my case, I would guess Michael Ellis, perhaps Cadeas, but he's in California, so he probably was. But I would guess Michael Ellis, like me, was not really aware of what hooping was. We thought it was something from the 60s.
Right. That's exactly what I said before you came on earlier, Dan.
Yeah, so I think we're turning people on. First of all, it's a good song. Audrey, you're beautiful, obviously, but you're very, very good at this. And I think a lot of this is, wow, I had no idea people were doing that. This was a thing. I had no idea. I'd never seen anyone do it this well before. So I think it's kind of a combination of all those things that we're seeing this. These numbers are extraordinary. So you're averaging about 8,000 shares a day and 16,000 likes a day. Wow. Or maybe a little, roughly, in the last few hours.
I just put the link in the chat for anybody that's in the room here that hasn't seen the video and hasn't seen the numbers on it. And Cadeas, I want to welcome you into the show. Thanks for coming. Have you seen ratios like this, to the number of likes, the ratio of shares being this high? I mean, I have looked and looked and looked, and I can't find any examples of a ratio that high.
Usually when the ratios are that high on YouTube, it's usually relating to
Facebook. This is Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Okay, I wouldn't know a lot about Facebook.
Okay, so this is shares versus likes. And I think, I mean, it would probably be a similar phenomenon on other platforms.
The meaning should be the same in both places. I think a share is an indication of a substantially higher commitment from the viewer, suggesting that they don't just click the thumbs up button or the like button. They're actually wanting to push this out to other people they know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the other thing that I brought up with Dan earlier was, I said, you know, you could understand if it's something like a cat picture that is universally, everybody just likes that and they share the heck out of that kind of thing. And it's not going to be, it's not even potentially offensive to anybody, right? Audrey's video is a little bit racy. I mean, it's a beautiful girl hooping, and so some people might enjoy looking at that, but might say, well, but I don't want to share that onto my homepage.
Mm.
I don't want to share it with my grandma and my whoever, right?
And some guys might be reluctant to share it for fear of upsetting their significant.
Their girlfriend or whatever, yeah.
Right.
But this is flying in the face of that. I mean, this is a super high ratio, like more than a third of the people that are liking it are sharing it. I have never seen anything like this. Never. And
it's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. I wish we knew how many views it had. I don't know if there's like an equation, but I wish so badly I knew how many views it had.
Would you say, Dan, that it's safe to say that a share is going to be good for at least 10 views?
I mean, I don't know what the ratio is. I would say certainly 1 or 2. I'm sure she's probably I would estimate anywhere from 125,000 to 500,000 views. I would guess somewhere in there. I mean, who's to know? There's no metric on that.
Yeah, the ratio that I have heard is it's usually a share is usually good for upwards to 10 views. And so, of course, we don't know. And maybe there is a way to find out. We'll just have to research this.
They're watching repeatedly, right? They might be trying to mimic those moves. They might have a hula hoop.
I've watched it 85 times. Is that bad? Is that
may
a bad
not be
thing?
the typical case.
No.
Audrey,
Yeah,
Audrey, do you think that's a bad? Do you think that's a bad thing that I've watched it 85?
No.
Okay.
Watch it as much as you want.
Okay.
But thank you for doing all that work for it, Dan. That's really cool to know, and I appreciate what you said. It's definitely made me a lot happier than I was before I made the video. So hopefully we can do more videos like this and make more people happy.
There you go. So Dan, any final thoughts on the stats?
Well, she's at 96,583. I haven't refreshed it. Likes. She's at 35,000 shares. So if she's doing about 8,000 in a 24-hour period, she's got about. Let me hit F5 again here. I'm trying to predict when she's going to roll over to. Well, the 100,000 should be in about 5 hours.
Hey everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 5 hours, I'm guessing. So I'm thinking like I'm guessing around 6 p.m. Eastern time, she's going to hit 100,000 likes.
And with that many shares, it could be picking up steam too.
And it depends what time zone you're in and where, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So
right now, people in Europe are getting ready to go off work, and that's kind of the time that people screw around, that last half hour. That's why we're seeing a lot of international shares. At 5 or 6 p.m. tonight, you might see more domestic shares, 4 to 6 p.m.
So let's do a quick round robin on what we expect with this Apple announcement. Everybody in the room here, what they expect, and I'll start with myself. And I think they are going to announce at least one larger iPhone. I'm going to go safe that they're going to announce at least one. They might announce 2. They may even have NFC in the phone. I think this ability to do secure purchases with the phone very conveniently and easily using the Touch ID and whatever other technology they roll in, that's huge. Because one of the biggest expenses that retailers face, credit card companies, everybody, is fraud, right? If somebody uses your credit card and buys something and then the credit card company eats that, that's a huge overhead expense. And so if Apple can solve that problem, that the merchant knows I'm me and I know who the merchant is, we know who each other is, and they can solve that simple little problem, that is huge. So that's going to be...
Another thing on that note is that if they can undercut what they pay for Visa MasterCard fees, the interchange fee and the percentage, if Apple can undercut that, you're going to see big retailers like Walmart and Costco and stuff really pushing this, and that's going to be a huge boom.
Or even if they don't undercut it, but they get rid of the fraud, and let's say the fraud is 1% of their sales, right? 1% is huge.
That's 10% of the profit.
even if it's a 0.5%, right? I mean, whatever that amount of fraud is, if they can cut that tremendously, obviously they're not going to get rid of 100% of fraud, right? But if they can cut that tremendously, that's a huge thing. So and then we might have a watch. They might announce a watch. So that's where I'm going with my predictions. Cadeas, do you have any idea? Oh, he's eating dinner.
I got a question for Cadeas also, Craig, on what you just said.
We'll go to you, Dan, then let him finish his
Well, I just wanted to ask Cadeas. I would say the same thing. I mean, some kind of payment system, a larger phone, and a watch. Look, I'm curious what Cadeas thinks, to follow up on what you said. Google Wallet is largely viewed as a failed product. Walmart just announced they're doing a ton, and they're installing them here of self-checkouts, and they're not installing Wallet with them. That was the decision. Cadeas, do you think that what's the reason Google Wallet failed, and do you think that Apple is going to have a hit product, or is it going to be, because all of them have kind of had failed products in the TV space? Do you think that this is going to be a contender, and that we're going to see mainstream retailers pushing this? And if so,
as far as the Google Wallet aspect of it, Google Wallet only failed because Google just assumed people would get it because it was Google, and so they never actually did any real marketing campaign and got people behind it. And so it was just, and then they changed it 40 different times. At one point it was this, and then it became this, and so they really didn't have any direction as to what they were doing or where they were going. So, and then they went through like 4 or 5 different project managers. So I don't, and again, I don't think Google Wallet has necessarily failed. I just don't think it didn't catch on as quick as it should.
I've never seen anyone use it.
Yeah.
You know what
you got to keep it. Oh, go ahead.
What you just said, Cadeas, is a big difference, in my opinion, between Google and Apple on a lot of their things. Apple will likely come out with a system here and tell the merchants, this is how it works. This is the system. And they won't change it, and they'll stick to it, and they'll just force it, down their throats, and everybody will have to walk in lockstep and do it this way, whereas that contrasts to what you just said about Google Wallet, where it was kind of like a moving target and every which way, and nobody knew what was going on.
Right.
They're going to kind of take control, and I think that's what we need to see in this space.
Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that the platform itself was bad. So using NFC as a form of a payment system, if Apple was to do it and they want to implement it as soon as possible with the launch of iOS 8, NFC's pretty much out there. They just need to get some of the bigger people to go ahead and adopt it. So if Apple was to do this, the payment system would more than likely still be that same platform, because it's still PayPass, Google Wallet, what the ISIS, which is now SoftCard. It's all still using the same exact platform. It's just branding. So if Apple was to implement something that was going to roll out here when iOS 8 rolls out in about a week or two, that's going to be the platform that they're more than likely going to use. Because I just don't see them implementing a whole new technology and then trying to make all these stores and retailers switch over to this new technology when the banks themselves couldn't even get them to all uniformly switch over to PayPass, which is in turn Google Wallet and ISIS and SoftCard and all that.
Gotcha.
So I still see that platform still being there, and if Apple can get more people to go and use it, then that will just in turn grow Google Wallets. So it still would work. Yeah. So I don't look at Google Wallet as a failed product. I don't agree with a lot of their new decisions, but I don't look at it as a failed product. It's still very viable, and people still use it even though they don't know they're using it. So
Audrey, do you follow any of this Apple stuff? Or do you really care what iPhone they come out with next?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know all the high-techy stuff. I always try to look at the websites that kind of make assumptions just to see. I mean, I love Apple, obviously. I mean, I have an iMac, 2 iMacs, the Mac Pro machine, and I mean, I'm a huge, and obviously a MacBook. Apple's always just been a huge part of my life, so everything that they do I've always been very interested in, but more in a creative aspect as an artist and a digital artist. I kind of try to look to see what they're going to do.
So you're an Apple fangirl.
Oh yeah, I love Apple. Yeah, it's a little nerdy, but I also play a lot of video games.
So what would be your ideal iPhone for them to come out with next? What would you really want on your wish list for the phone?
If I could have like 3 wishes for an iPhone, one would be that it just had a camera that was epic. I mean, like 5D Mark II, if that was possible.
Okay.
I think that could be cool because I already have my little lens that I stick on it so I can have like telephoto or fisheye. So they already have little lenses that you can put on the phones. So yeah, a better camera would be great. And
you want 4K video with that?
yeah.
Okay. And what else? What else?
Oh, I don't know. They just it's
Do you
such.
want a bigger? Do you want a bigger screen? Do you want a bigger screen?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I like the screen size that they have. It might be kind of cool to have, obviously, a better like a really good graphics card. Maybe better speakers could be cool, like something that could be a little bit louder. But I don't know. They have everything.
I agree with the speakers thing. That's the one thing, the HTC phones with those front-facing speakers on either side, that really is cool. I would love to see that. I don't think we're going to see it, though. I'd love to see that, too. So, okay. So that's your wish list. Kadeus, do you have an iPhone?
Unfortunately, I have everything. So, I mean, I have to build apps for all the platforms. So I have everything. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so
really?
what?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So Kadeus, from a developer standpoint, tell us the truth. Which phone is easier to develop for?
Android.
Android, really?
Platform-wise, Android is easier to develop for. If you're learning programming, iOS is going to be easier, but you have a lot more options. It's the same thing, just like we're just using the phone. iPhone is straightforward, where Android is a lot of options. So to some people, it's overwhelming, but for a programmer, they know what they're doing for the most part. As far as for the iPhone, what I would like for them to do is 4K. I mean, as I said yesterday on our Android week, the iPhone, I feel, is pretty much 2 years behind everything else, and so I look at this as their chance to catch up or pass it. A 4K camera would be one thing that I would want to have on that if that was my daily driver.
Now, what is the quality of the 4K on the Android phones that have it? Is it decent?
It's pretty decent for and it's like 4 or 5 of them that have it. The S5 has it. The Note 3 was the first one that I knew of that had it. All the new LGs came out and have 4K. So that's one of those things where Apple's behind.
Gotcha. And I'm not so sure they're going to announce 4K in these new ones. They may still hold off on it. It's going to be interesting to see.
What about an iCamera?
They won't do that. They won't do a separate camera, I don't think.
No.
Not anytime soon. They do products that they want to sell 30 million of or 50 million of. They don't do niche.
Do you think we're going to see a Mac Mini today, or does that usually come a month or two after this?
Yeah, they won't announce a Mac Mini today either. Not the same day. So, okay, so we're 1 minute, or we're like 10 seconds from they're going to start. Kadeus, are you going to monitor the live stream?
I have them on 3 screens right now, and right now the live feed went down.
Okay.
So.
Are you going to be monitoring Twit this week in tech, their special coverage?
No, because I'm looking at these. But
I was
Dan,
hoping that Brad would come in and he would do that for me, but I don't know where he is. He said he was going to get up and do it because we need somebody to monitor Twit.
Can you monitor Twitch, Dan?
Because they've got iJustine. They've got iJustine on, and I want to see what she has to say because I've been saying for years that Audrey is the next iJustine.
Yeah, because I can't apparently watch the live stream. It requires Safari.
You're kidding me.
That is correct. You can, if you're trying to watch the live stream outside of an Apple product, it will not let you do it. So I literally have Safari open on this computer. I got my iPad running right here. You literally have to.
So Dan, can you monitor Twit for us at least for a while?
Yeah.
And switch to the screen anytime iJustine is talking. I want to hear what she has to say. Okay.
How do you want me to do this? Do you want me to
share the screen? Just right. Whenever she's talking, can you do that?
And I'll just unmute my mic when that happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to give priority to anything she says and anything interesting that any of his other panelists say. Can you get it full screen?
Yep.
Wait a second.
No. I think that, you know, statistically, they're probably better than 95% of smartwatches that have shipped so far have been purchased by men. And
Okay, so Audrey, to bring you up to speed, if you click on Dan's thumbnail.
I am.
Okay, so that is TWiT, This Week in Tech. This is their panel. They're doing a live special. They've got Mike Elgin. They've got an all-star panel there. They're supposed to have iJustine. Now, I don't know if she's going to come in remotely from another location. It looks like she probably is. Dan, that's Alex Lindsay right there. That's Alex Lindsay, who I was telling you about earlier today.
So Apple has just started, and they started the video with "See Things Differently."
Okay.
So it looks like this is gonna do an Amazon kind of phone thing. Looks like the video that's running looks like they're doing like different angles and perspectives.
Okay, good. Let us know anything you see that is interesting. That is Sarah Lane to the right of Leo Laporte. Leo Laporte is wearing the dark coat. He is the one that started TWiT, This Week in Tech. He's kind of a leader in new media audio. Audrey, if you've never heard of him or met him, he has a network called TWiT, This Week in Tech, and his flagship show is Sundays. I don't know what time they stream it live. I listen to it after the fact. A technology show, and then he's got a series of other shows throughout the week that are all technology related. And he's kind of like the leader in this new media space, if you will. He has a huge following. He makes a couple $1 million a year or whatever on his thing. So that's Leo Laporte. And he's the one right there with the gray hair that's talking. He's about the same age as me, by the way. So
they're doing a lot of stereoscopic 3D type stuff. So who knows where this is going? And the whole motto is seeing things differently.
Interesting. I wonder if they're going to come out with glasses. By the way, Cadeas is wearing Google Glass. Have you heard of Google Glass, Audrey?
Of course I have. I heard it's like weird.
He's wearing them.
I know, they look fine. I just don't understand how they work really. I've seen the things, but I don't know.
Can you tell her real quick about them?
It's all voice control. It takes all your notifications from your phone and bring them up to your eyes, so like emails, instant messages, text messages. You can see them in the air, and then you use your voice to reply. And then there's software developers that are building more things that it can do. Like one of the popular ones is if you're in another country or something and you see a sign that you can't read because you don't speak the language, you just look at the sign and say, translate this, and it'll literally change the text in the glass to match the text on the wall to the language that you're telling it to switch to. So it's all kinds of stuff. There's music apps. I think Spotify just added, not Spotify, Shazam just added their app. So like it's a lot of stuff.
You use your hand to spell, or how do you?
Your voice. It's like 98% voice control. Yeah.
Oh, so you just tell it to go like left or right, or?
So you can say like, "Okay, Glass, send a message to CraigShipp. Tell him I'm on my way," or whatever.
Oh, cool.
You can also touch it on the side and do certain things by touch, right?
Yeah, so you can slide back and forth from message to message. Like if Craig was sending you a bunch of Hangouts, you could read them all by sliding.
Cool.
A lot of different things, yeah.
So now would it give anything that Craig sends her priority?
if she has it set to have you as priority.
Oh, cool! I gotta get them for her then.
Here you go.
Yeah, they're available now publicly on the Play Store, so you can definitely go to play.google.com and pick some up. Great.
I still don't think she'd answer me. Tell you the truth.
I would. If you buy me Google Glass, I'll answer you. I promise.
Notice she said Google Plus, Greg.
Yeah, she wants Google Plus. Hey, is that Tim Cook on the stand? I mean, on the stage? Tim Cook is on the stage. And we have not seen hide nor hair of iJustine yet. You know what? I wonder if Leo Laporte was using her name to try to get more people, and she's really not going to appear. He'll do anything for views, I'm telling you.
Really?
I guess. He said she was going to be on the show. Maybe she's going to come in remotely from the event. you know, he's got a couple of people down at the event. These Apple events kind of suck all the oxygen out of the room for any other news that's happening. Like any other news that's happening right now at 1 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States is like not even exist, doesn't even exist. It's all Apple now.
Really?
Oh my gosh, their media machine is just amazing. And here, let me tell you, I got to share something with you, Audrey, to give you an idea of the significance of this launch. And these are not all just rumors.
Oh my God! What? Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Now say what you were going to say.
Oh, I'm just saying that somehow downvids.net has it where you can download my video.
Oh, cool. Are people downloading it? Good.
173 people have downloaded it.
So far. Cool.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to like.
Yeah, you should tweet that out. Yeah, you should put that on your Facebook, a link to that while it's still there so people can go and get it. Don't want to get it.
Okay, but continue what you're saying. I'm sorry.
So anyway, what I was going to say is Apple has booked so much shipping capacity from China on these like Federal Express planes, you know, huge jets that they put all these phones in and they ship them. They've booked so much shipping capacity for the next 3 months, for this whole quarter, that some of the other manufacturers are having trouble getting their products shipped, that they're contacting these shippers and saying, we need a container going to the U.S. or whatever, right? And the shippers are saying, sorry, a big customer bought out all the capacity. And so they're literally, I mean, just competitors are just like perplexed, and some of them can't even get their things built. They you know, they go to a manufacturer and they say, I need these widgets, I need to buy, you know, 5,000 of these widgets, and the manufacturer will say, sorry, Apple bought out our whole production run for the next 3 months. And it's just amazing how they take the oxygen out of the environment for some of these competitors by just buying up capacity. What are you have any thoughts on that, Cadeas?
Uh-oh.
I guess not.
No thoughts.
I guess
I'm gonna have to head out here soon, I think. But do you know what time they're gonna be making the announcement?
They're doing it now. That's what they're keeping an eye on right now. And as soon as they say something significant, we're gonna talk all about it. So we're going to hang in there, and so you can contact me later, Audrey, and I can just give you the 2-minute summary on what all happened today. Is that the phone? Are they showing the phone?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, the camera does protrude out the back. That was a rumor that some people said it would and some people said it wouldn't. See, they made the phone thinner, so the phone protrudes out the back like it does on the iPod Touch. Dan, are you there? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm here.
What
I was getting a bleed over. It's 5.5-inch display.
Yeah.
And if you put me on full screen, I don't know what they're watching, but if you can see the tweets coming up on the bottom right of my screen.
I've got you on the screen. They're showing the phone right now with the protruding camera.
Also, pay attention to the tweets that are popping up on the bottom right of my screen. There's some information there from a bunch of different text sources coming in live.
Yeah, I see them. Now, have they said yet, is that a sapphire screen?
I don't know, but it's 5.5 inches. I'm not sure which is.
And what's the other one? 4.7 inches?
I'm not sure. It's this. I'm watching as you are.
Okay, so let's listen to what the panel has to say. Can you give us audio from the panel?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't because my mic will feed back, unless you can hear this.
that would be like a Samsung Edge.
I can hear it a little bit. You just give us the play-by-play, if you will, of anything important that they say. Obviously, they're going to have a lot of filler. But I'm interested to know if it's got a sapphire screen.
Okay.
If they talk about that, let us know. And I'm interested also to know about the camera itself, if they give any detail on the camera, especially if it does 4K.
I see Retina displays.
Yeah, well, of course it's going to be Retina. Everything's Retina now. That's nothing. So we're following Leo Laporte's Twit Live special coverage.
Yeah, and looks like his coverage is the only coverage that's going to be worth following.
Something about strengthened glass. What does it say there about the glass?
Ion strengthened glass. Right below it is improved polymer.
So what does that mean?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear it only because Apple's having a lot of problems with their broadcast, and you're getting all different languages simultaneously with background music while he's on stage talking. So I've been trying to figure. That's why I was like, hold on, because I've been trying to figure out what's going on. So,
they got a little train wreck going on. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what are you going to, Dan? What are you doing? Okay, he's back. So it looks like they're going to have 3 sizes?
Yeah.
So are they going to have 3 new models? So normally what they'll do is they'll recycle the previous one.
So maybe they're going to get rid of those, but we'll see.
Maybe they're not going to recycle the previous one like they normally do, because maybe it's because they're going to put an FC in all of them.
Probably. We'll see.
This is interesting. I don't think anybody called this. I didn't hear anybody say that they'd have 3 new phones. Did you, Kadeas?
Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's another stream that is available without Chinese and Korean being dubbed over it.
Yeah. Okay, keep checking. And Dan, you keep an eye on things and let us know if Leo Laporte's panel says anything pertinent.
5.5 inches for iPhone 6. And boy, are they packed with pixels. Yep.
This 3 screen sizes of the brand new phone, I've never seen them do this before. This is amazing that they're doing this. They're going to have a lot of SKUs. No wonder they're shipping a ton of stuff over here. Kadeas,
Always had 3 phones, Craig, though. So I'm thinking they're going to discontinue the other ones. I don't see them having 5 phones on the market.
So you're pretty sure it's 3 brand new phones?
Yes, they got the different.
Now, are all 3 of them rounded? You know how this one is squared off?
Yeah,
are all 3 of them rounded? Because it looks like the smaller one has the flat sides like the old model. See that? Which I like.
So basically on the bigger phone, it looks as though the easiest way to describe it is that they are putting, basically it's running the tablet app. Like when you open up the mail, you know how you have the column over here, and then or when you do the iMessage on the tablet, you got the column over here and the message over here. It looks like they're doing they're doing the iPad app on the bigger one.
Got you. But see, when I saw those 3 phones together, the 2 bigger ones look like they have the rounded edges, and the small one looked like it had, here, and I'll put my screen on so people can see, it looked like it was the flat, just like the older style. So it's going to be interesting to see if the 4-inch one keeps a similar form factor to this, which is a little bit thicker, right, and flat on the edges. Because I actually like that, because I like to be able to set my phone down on a table and just let it set up and just watch the video. I don't, the rounded ones, you have to lean against something. I really like the flat edges. I guess maybe I'm the only one. So, Dan,
this is probably the worst setup for them.
Dan, any more mention of the screen, if it's sapphire or not?
No, I think now they're talking about features of the new iOS, I guess. I'm not sure. I can't really hear what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you hear? Are you having the same issue?
Well, I hear Leo and gang, but I can't really.
Oh, they muted the audio.
Audio is a little bit louder than Leo, so it's kind of hard to, and I can't adjust the volume on the Hangout. This is up max.
Okay, so listen to Leo, Dan, if you will, and see if you can get any pertinent information at all. And if you do, come back to us as soon as possible, because I'd like to get some facts, if we can. For them to keep saying it's a Retina display, I mean, that is old freaking news. Who cares? I mean, as far as I can tell, this is a total flop, this whole presentation. Now here they go. They're going with the lens strength, ion strengthened glass. What is that? I've never heard that terminology before. Is that sapphire? Let's Google that.
It looks like even Twit's having the same issue. There is Chinese and Korean being dubbed along with background music while the presentation's going. So
I'm trying to find ion strengthened glass. Chemically strengthened glass. Ion exchange. There's a term called ion exchange. Have we heard this term thrown around before, Cadeus? Chemically strengthened glass, type of glass that has increased strength as a result of post-production chemical process. When broken, it still shatters in long pointed splinters similar to float glass. For this reason, it's not considered a safety glass and must be laminated if a safety glass is required. However, chemically strengthened glass is typically 6 to 8 times the strength of float glass, whatever float glass is. Is it possible that this whole factory thing idea of creating sapphire in this factory in New Mexico or wherever the heck it is, that was all just a scam and they're just doing chemically treated glass? It's not even sapphire? That's not possible, is it? What do you think, Cadeus? Is this whole damn thing a scam?
we'll see. Just waiting for them to get more into it. I can't hear as much as I want to hear to really elaborate on it.
I can't imagine though that they wouldn't have led with that. Why did they come up with this new term, this, ion strengthened glass or some sort of nonsense? I mean, if it's really the real
even
deal.
Twit's complaining like they can't get anything. This Chinese and Korean over it. It's not everybody's upset.
One thing to know, Craig, it's not 3 phones. I think the first one was to show you the comparison between the current iPhone and the 2 new ones, the 6.
Which is why Craig was saying that the sides were.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, for anybody viewing this, I'm going to post the link to come in here on my Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/FrederickNews, facebook.com/FrederickNews, again, I'm going to say it one more time, facebook.com/FrederickNews. I'm going to post a link right now for you to come in if you want to join the panel. I'm going to take a chance here, and if you've got a webcam and you want to come in and join the panel, I'm going to post the link right now, and then I'm going to delete it fairly quickly, so I'm just going to say, come on in. I'm putting the link here, and I'm going to do it public, and you'll have about 30 seconds to click on that link and come on in if you want to join us. So,
Craig, I just want to real quickly put up on my screen here, this is the 3 phones, the original iPhone that's out now.
Mm-hmm.
These are the 2 new ones, the 6 and the 6 Plus. 38% and 185% more pixels, whatever that means. I mean, I don't know, like inches wise. And then that's another shot of the 3 compared to the 5S. And then here are the thicknesses. The current phone is 7.6 millimeters, and then now you have 6.9 and 7.1 for the 6 Plus. And then these are the descriptions of the new glass. I guess they're confusing us with terms we don't recognize. But I just want to give a quick update on the actual how big these things are. So they are following Samsung's lead in creating, phablet type phones.
Yeah, well, the rumors were 4.7 and 5.5, and that's pretty much what we've got, right? For these 2 new phones, right? I think so. I think it's 4.7 and 5.5. I think that's.
I'm trying to make a comparison here. I'm going to look at some Samsung stats and see how this compares to other things.
Okay, the link is still up if anybody wants to come in. Again, Facebook.com/Frederick News. Facebook.com/Frederick News if you want to come in and join the panel and help out. I don't know what happened to Brad Tech Webcast. He was up earlier, but he didn't come in. He saw the link. Of course, it's 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, their time. So let me send it to him again. We could use the extra.
So right now they're just showing off the 64-bit processor. So.
Yeah, which again is old news. I'll tell you what. So far, I give them a C and I'm being generous to give them a C. It should probably be a D, considering they've screwed up the live stream too. But as far as the actual presentation and what they've done so far as the product, I give them a C. Overall, I give them a D because of the stream. What do you think, Cadeas? Is this a total flop?
It's difficult because I know some of these languages, and so it's very, very distracting. To the point I can't, like, I'm hearing it in English and I'm hearing it in Korean, and then I got this Chinese undertone that I have no idea what they're saying there. It's just everybody's complaining. Even over here on Twitch, they're complaining like they can't even follow it. Like
that's a downside to having a genius in the room. Is he's listening to all these languages simultaneously. By the way, Dan, I mentioned to you that Alex Lindsay is a video streaming expert. Maybe Apple should have had him in the room instead of him being there with Leo Laporte. Maybe he should have been helping with the live stream.
All right, so the iPhone's the iPhone 6 Plus will play games at higher resolution than the next generation consoles. So that's definitely something to. Graphics are 84 times faster than the original iPhone and 50 times faster, and the processor's 50 times faster than the original iPhone. I don't know why they compare it to the original, but
that's ridiculous. It should be a lot faster than that.
Well, maybe they should just stop comparing it to the original so it doesn't sound so horrible.
50% is nothing. I mean, Moore's Law says things should double every 2 years. I mean, something's wrong with that number. That doesn't.
So we have the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. It looks like is what the name's going to be called. And the 6 Plus has over 2 million pixels on the screen.
It's interesting they start with gaming, not product.
Are there any other advantages to the 6 Plus?
It's going to be a full 1080p screen. So this is another, like I was saying yesterday on our Android week, this is another thing where they're still behind when you got people like LG making 2K phones and they're still at 1080p. Like.
Well, but that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, you know.
Well, you would think it's ridiculous, but then because there's not really that much 4K content out there. But then when you hit YouTube and it's full of 4K content, and you can watch that on your phone, like Devin Supertramp.
Yeah, but how much resolution can you really benefit from on a tiny screen like that? Really?
You stop by a store of some kind and just watch. Go to Devin Supertramp's YouTube channel and watch. Use the LG G3 and watch some of his videos, and then you will sing a different tune. And you know I'm a non-biased person. If Apple's phone's better, it's better, even though I don't like it. So I'm going to tell you the truth.
I hear you on the. I hear you, but I mean, my God, my screen looks freaking gorgeous to me. But maybe it's just because I'm old.
Well, it looks gorgeous, but that's only because you haven't seen the new stuff. Once you see the new stuff, then you say, "Oh shoot, my screen's horrible."
I'm with you. Okay.
So yeah, just go and stop by some type of cell phone store and look at the LG G3. You'll see, it's significantly different.
Now, talking about this 4K, Dan and I have been trying to, read the tea leaves on what's coming down the pike with the 4K stuff, and we follow all the rumor sites and all that, and because the 4K cameras, everybody's transitioning over, right? Slowly but surely, most of the new cameras that are being announced, a lot of them are going to have 4K, but I see that the quality between them is wildly different. I mean, some, the moire and the ALSing and all the quality issues are it's just terrible, right? And some are better. How long is it going to take for the dust to settle on all this, and all these camcorders and all these video cameras and all these things are going to have decent, solid 4K? Are we going to? Is that a year out from now?
A year and a half, 2 years, honestly. Right now, everybody's trying to capitalize as best they can on the. You know how it works. You start off.
Yeah, because Sony just rolled out a new camera, and get this, it's $2,200. It's got XLR inputs. It's got a 1-inch sensor. It's got all these cool specs, but it's 4K ready. It's not even 4K until they say sometime next year you're going to be able to download the update on the firmware, and it's going to be 4K. I mean, what the heck is that?
Well, Blackmagic actually has one for, I want to say 3800, and it's a pretty solid 4K camera. So there's a barometer in the iPhone 6, so it can sense air pressure and measure relative elevation. And then with the M8 coprocessor, they're able to collect more data on motion, accelerometer, gyroscope, and compass. So LTE, it's ready for LTE-A, so it's able to do 150 megabits. But it's gonna, obviously that's gonna depend on the carrier, and in the United States we're not moving that quick right now. It supports up to 200 LTE carriers. So.
By the way, our viewers were way up earlier. We were up at like around 30 viewers for a while, and now we've dropped all the way down to 8.
Yeah, because nobody can get any real information out of it. That's the problem.
Craig, just to put this in perspective, my Note 2 is 5.5 inches screen. So this is the same angle width or the same distance from here to here. Although, in keeping with Apple's real commitment to easy one-hand operation, it seems that their phone is a little taller than mine. In other words, it's a little narrower, but it's still 5.5. But I think it's more tall. This one's.
But the aspect ratio is probably still got to be 16:9, right?
They're going to be doing voice over LTE. So for carriers that are supporting it, I know T-Mobile has started rolling it out. I know AT&T is rolling it out in certain areas.
Verizon
also have that. They're doing 802.11a and C. So I'm sorry, AC, and then there is also Wi-Fi calling. So.
I still can't believe that we don't know about the screen, whether or not that thing is sapphire or not. That was a big thing.
Well, I don't think it is, right? Or they would have said it.
Would have said it.
That's a good point.
So now I have an actual good feed. So give me a second while I tune into this.
But you know what? It's interesting. This chemically strengthened glass that they got, this ion, whatever the hell they did put on the screen, maybe that is what that sample was that guy was showing that he couldn't break. Remember, he was bending it with his shoe, and the blogger that you like, Marcus, yeah.
Brownlee, yeah.
I mean, if that's that same stuff and it's that tough, then maybe that's what we need. Maybe we don't need.
Okay, so it's still an 8 megapixel iSight camera. It still has the True Tone flash. It's got a aperture of 2.2 and an all new sensor. They have something called focus pixels. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they didn't jam more pixels on that sensor. I'm glad.
When they start talking like that, I start thinking HTC. So, but give me just a second.
I mean, there were rumors that they were going to go up to like 13 megapixels or something like that. Oh, my God, that's the last thing I want is more megapixels on that tiny little sensor. I'd like it to have 8. I'd like it to have just the number they need to have for 4K. Is what I'd like to see. Which it sounds like is what they've got.
Here are some specs on the camera.
But they're not doing 4K, evidently, or they'd have said that.
Craig, I got the specs on the camera on my screen. If you want to talk
about it. I got it.
Yeah, I just told him.
I don't know how that compares to what they have now. I'm not sure.
Well, it's the same megapixels. I think that aperture's the same, but it's got a whole new sensor. See where they have 1.5U pixels? That's the size, right? So what they're emphasizing is that the pixels are bigger than your typical cell phone camera, which that would
give you better low light performance.
Yeah, which that was already the case.
People also love taking macro photos. There's a beautiful one of a California monarch butterfly. Anyone know? That's a female, if you couldn't tell.
So,
And even landscapes with the wide-angle lens are just
I
beautiful,
hope he
particularly with
says
the noise
4K here
reduction for
soon.
bluer skies without sacrificing sharpness. And everyone loves now taking panoramas with their iPhone as well, and you take even bigger ones with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, up to 43 megapixel photos.
Wow.
And with the new generation gyroscope, the stitching is near seamless. Now, what makes your photos great are three things. It's the 5-element lens, it's the imaging sensor, and it's also the brains behind it all, the image signal processor that's part of the Apple A8 chip. And there's a whole new generation signal processor inside iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. For example, it has a dedicated hardware block now to do advanced face detection. So you're taking a photo, you can even quicker.
Uh-oh. We were having good audio there. What happened? We just lost it, huh?
Where's iPhone 6?
There it is.
And iPhone 6 Plus. There's one feature different between the two of them, and it's about image stabilization. The iPhone 6 has digital image stabilization, so it can try to help compensate if your hand's not holding the iPhone steady and try to help you keep from.
Oh, come on. I want to hear the difference. The other one has optical stabilization, I wonder. Oh, darn it. We lost that audio at just the wrong time. Holy mackerel. What a fail. I am not impressed. I might keep my phone for another year. Why is he showing a point and shoot on the screen now? He's showing camcorders.
I'd kill for Cadeas's audio back.
Here comes Michael Ellison to save the day. What a train wreck. I thought my shows were normally train wrecks. Of course, this presentation and then by extension, my show is a train wreck. Oh, 60 frames per second though, Dan. Look at that. That's good.
Yeah, I see.
I like that.
These Verge stills are more reliable than the actual stream. Everyone's complaining about it.
Are they typing anything about? Okay, so slow motion, 240 frames a second. That's really good. That's going to be super slow motion. What about no mention of 4K, huh? Oh man, there's got to be some people at Apple that are just really pissed right now that this thing is a train wreck. Can you imagine the heads are going to roll? Whoever's in charge of that streaming, can you imagine? Talk about having a bad day. The biggest announcement in 5 years, and they muff it.
Wow.
What is cinematic video stabilization? What the hell's that?
Who the fuck, excuse my French, who knows? They must have just invented that for no particular reason, that word. I'm guessing that the bigger one, what we missed when that audio cut out, I'm guessing that the bigger one has optical stabilization as opposed to just digital, which some of the Android phones do have as well, the optical stabilization, which most people think is better than the digital. But if the digital is really well executed, which it is on the iPhone, it's pretty damn good too.
So you don't see anything that's going to cause you to be in the line wrapped around the Apple Store for this?
Not yet. I like the smaller phone, first of all. I like the size of my phone now. So, I mean, without 4K, the 60 frames a second is good, but I got plenty of cameras that shoot 60 frames a second that, you know, if I'm shooting something important, I'm shooting it with another camera anyway. I'll probably buy one anyway. I don't know. I just have to decide if I want to lug around a bigger phone or not. That's a big issue for me.
Right.
Nothing, huh? Nothing on the 4K.
No.
Now that's pretty cool. Single shot HDR built in. That's pretty good if it really is true HDR, but I suspect that it's not.
There is no 4K, Craig, at all. It's only 1080p.
Yeah.
It's
likely that this is the best 1080p camera that will ever be produced for a phone, because in the future they'll all be 4K. So this is probably the end of the road for
Single shot
1080p
HDR.
camera.
So with one picture, not multiple pictures, it gets great exposure for the foreground and the background. We're also now able to do HDR in your videos as well from the FaceTime camera.
Wow.
So amazing cameras, both the front side and the back side, FaceTime camera and iSight camera. Both the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 Plus will come with an iOS 8, the latest version of the world's most advanced mobile operating system, and there are so many great features. I just want to point out a few of them that are really wonderful on the new iPhones. First, the new Messages application. You can share your location with friends. You can now share audio messages along with your photos and your videos. And there's a new controller on the bottom right-hand side there that you control with your thumb. So it's really easy to do one-handed. There's a new keyboard with QuickType. It suggests words based on the content of what you're typing. And again, easy to reach one-handed.
Does the feed always suck at these events?
I don't know. It's definitely bad today.
Craig, how do those prices compare to typical?
Dan, he stepped away.
Okay. So we're seeing a iPhone 6 for $200, $300, or $400 with a 2-year deal.
Right. And the different size also. So 128 gigabytes is $399 with a 2-year contract.
It was like $100 more. Yeah, so it's $100 more for the 6 Plus, which is, as I said earlier, the same screen size as my Note 2.
Okay.
Which is pretty large.
Yeah, I think it's too large for a shirt pocket, isn't it?
It fits in your shirt, but it's big. I mean, it's definitely a serious phone. And this will further cut into sales of things like the iPad mini, because tablet sales, as the phones are getting bigger, the tablet, especially the smaller size tablets, there's not, I mean, I think the iPad mini is, what, 7 inches?
Mm-hmm.
This is the equivalent of a small tablet with LTE built in.
And how big is this one? This phone?
The 6 Plus is 5.5 inches. I think it's 4.7 for the 6.
That's pretty hefty.
We're going to start to ship them on September 19th. That will be in the US and 8 other countries. In those countries, you'll be able to pre-order them starting this Friday on the 12th. And the team is working hard to make this the fastest rollout ever for iPhone. So we're going to try to be in 115 countries by the end of this year. Of course, there's also the new iOS 8 that we're seeing up here and all lusting over. It is amazing. The team works hard, as always, to make it available to the widest number of customers possible. So here you see the list of all the devices that are supported with iOS 8. Huge number of devices. All these customers.
Audio kicking in and out, huh?
Yep.
So, what did I hear was the price for the 128 gig?
So that is the new iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus.
400 for the
Thank
6, 3 for the 500.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay, so
Thank you.
if I get the big one,
Hopefully you can get an idea of
if I
just
get the
how
big one,
amazing
how much is
iPhone
the
6
128
and
gig?
iPhone 6 really
$500.
are. How they're the best phones you've ever seen. But a great product
with the 5S.
isn't just a collection of
They didn't have
features.
128 gig,
It's
so
how
they
it all
bumped
works
it from
together.
64
How it
gig
makes you
to
feel.
128 for the same price, it sounds
These
like.
products
How much was your 5S 64
have
gig?
bigger screens.
It was
and they're amazing.
$400.
But they're
Okay,
much
so it's the same
better
price as the 5S,
in
but
every
larger,
single
6
way.
plus.
On
To
contract,
make
it
this
was
point
$400.
clear, we've
Right.
enlisted the help of a couple of our friends to do some fun new ads. And I'd love to share one of those with you right now.
So Dan, you're saying I can buy the 128 gig bigger phone, the 6 Plus, for the same price as my 5S?
It's $500.
Oh, so it's $100.
But the 64 gig, which is the 5S, is the same price for the big phone. So they've offered 128 gig options, $100 more.
The heck was that?
Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon, I think. Right?
What do you think? Did you like them? Do you know who they are? Does anybody know who they are?
So far, this is a
Timberlake
total
and Jimmy
fail. If they don't hit it out of the park,
These guys are incredibly fun to work with.
it's a total
Do you
fail.
want to see another one? Here's another one.
The phones will still sell.
This is the iPhone 6, and this is the iPhone 6 Plus. They come with a thing called Health, so they can help you track a lot of stuff. Like today, I walked 3.8 miles.
Well, I ran 4.2 miles.
Well, I climbed 11 flights of stairs.
Well, I drank a smoothie that had 362 calories in it.
Well, I had a funnel cake that had 1,230 calories in it.
You know that's not good, right?
It was good. It was delicious.
Anybody else think the ads are done?
Thank you. So that is iPhone. And now I'd like to talk about an entirely new category of service. And it's all about the wallet. Our vision is to replace this. And we're going to start by focusing on payments. Payments is a huge business. Every day between credit and debit, we spend $12 billion. That's over $4 trillion a year, and that's just in the United States. And this business is comprised of over 200 million transactions a day. That's 200 million times that we scramble for our credit cards and go through what is a fairly antiquated payment process. It looks...
Whoops.
Again.
Yeah, and this is huge. This payment thing is a huge deal. If they can lick this problem, this is a huge thing. This could change my thinking on this thing being a total fail if they can do this. This and or the watch. If the watch thing is just freaking unbelievable, then that might save them. But it's going to take a major something here to save them.
Thank you.
Now this... Thank you. This
You know, I might buy the
process is
4.7
based on
inch. The 5.5 might be just ridiculously big and
And
just
whether it's a credit or a debit
uncomfortable to
card,
carry.
you're totally reliant on
Craig,
the
just go to a
exposed
store and look at a
numbers
too. That'll give you an exact.
and
pretty
the outdated and vulnerable magnetic stripe interface.
I might buy neither of
which, by
them.
the way, is 5 decades old. And the security codes, which all of us know aren't so secure. It's so easy to lose your card or have it compromised. It's no wonder that people have dreamed of replacing these for years. They've all failed. The New York Times said it best. A truly mobile wallet has long been described as imminent, but it remains elusive. Most have been a disappointment or have not yet.
Jeez.
This stream remains elusive.
Yeah.
It's mainly been a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, this is why a lot of times they do not stream their events. And I can understand. It's got to be a logistical nightmare. Can you imagine how many people are trying to watch?
They can do the Super Bowl. Why can't they do this?
Did they really stream the Super Bowl?
Yeah, if you pay.
Oh, but that's different. This is free. Not that
The
many
Olympics.
people pay.
More people watch the Olympics streaming than this.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
I bet you it's a huge number trying to watch this stupid thing.
I bet it's not 5% of the Olympic viewers.
Okay. I didn't even know that the Olympics streamed. I thought they were behind a paywall. I tried to watch the Olympics and I couldn't get it. I had to have like Comcast.
Because as it turns out, most people that have worked on this have started by focusing on creating a business model that was centered around their self-interest instead of focusing on the user experience. We love this kind of problem. This is exactly what Apple does best. And so we've created an entirely new payment process, and we call it Apple Pay.
That's a very clever name. I'm not surprised they got applause.
I'd like to.
By the way, the technical difficulties, viewers, is on Apple's end. Their stream is all over the place and screwed up, and they're streaming multiple languages, and it's cutting in and out. And other than that, it's working perfectly. So it's not this train wreck of a show, although this is a train wreck of a show. It's not our fault that this is happening.
This time.
Yeah. What I find interesting is that, like I thought, they're just using NFC. So.
Are they using NFC?
They are. They're using the
right.
same exact terminal, because I'm looking at the video. It's the same exact terminal. That
So have they already said with the phones that they're including NFC in these two new phones? Did they already say that?
I guess that's what they're about to say right now. He's played the video twice just to.
Okay.
And you need your fingerprint, though. Looks like you got to use your fingerprint to get it. So you put your fingerprint, and then I guess that approves the NFC transfer to actually take place, as opposed to on the Android side, when you go to the register, you just make sure your app is open and you've entered your PIN number and you put it there. So for Samsung phones that already have the fingerprint reader, this is easy to implement. But the rest of Android, a lot of people are gonna have to change.
Well, are you sure that this is going to be available on Android? That this isn't going to be Apple only?
Well, it's NFC, so it's not. They can't. It's not even their technology to lock anyone out. It's using the same exact platform. NFC, touch ID, and secure element.
But it doesn't mean that they're going to be allowing other platforms to use this thing that they're rolling out.
No, keep in mind that Apple is using the existing technology that's already there. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
only thing that they're doing differently in this scenario is bringing the fingerprint in on it. That's the difference. So whereas with Google Wallet, they're using the Google Wallet terminal. Let's just simplify it. They're using Google Wallet. So they go touch the phone. The only thing is the phone is not going to transmit the payment information until the phone verifies your fingerprint. Does that make sense? Whereas on Android, I can take your phone and go and do it. This how it works.
Yeah, but Apple is rolling out their own software, their own interface, and ostensibly what they're claiming is that they're going to make this much easier for the user.
Right. But the user experience is based on the phone you're using. The user experience is not the protocol. Does that make sense?
But that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is, in order to get this particular user experience that Apple is saying is so great, you're going to have an Apple phone. That's my point.
Right, but it's nothing different.
In other words, they're not going to allow Android to create an app that mimics this entire thing. Android will have to do it differently. My point. Right?
The thing is, it's nothing different. The only thing, there's no interface, there's no anything that's happening other than a fingerprint.
Really?
Right. It's just the fingerprint.
They just showed an interface. They just showed an interface where
they're still designing what you see on your phone. Apple is still designing that. So what you're looking at on your phone, they're still designing that.
Yeah, and
they're using existing service.
Yeah, but my point is, they showed a screen grab of somebody adding a credit card to their phone, right?
Right.
I guess you got to add it initially and all that. All that is all going to be Apple, and
right. That part's all Apple.
And the point is, what they're claiming is that we've figured out a better way to do all of this so that it's easy for people to do, and so it'll be adopted. And
the fingerprint. That's it.
That's what they're claiming.
It's just the fingerprint, but it's still using the same technology. So what this does, and this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the show, what this does is this helps all payment processing grow. Because if Walmart adopts this because Apple's using it, and Costco adopts this because Apple's using it, and Target adopts this because Apple's using it, all that does is fix it so Google Wallet works everywhere as well, because it's the same network.
All right.
You're going to see that because I see on the Verge's feed right now, McDonald's is going to have it.
McDonald's has had it since 2010. Staples has had it since 2010. I use Google Wallet at these locations already. So what they're doing is they're using the existing infrastructure.
What Apple's going to do is they're going to take what everybody's been doing every which way and that hasn't been adopted, and Apple's going to make everybody adopt it and do it.
Right. So Apple's doing what Google couldn't do in this aspect.
Okay, so explain to me how this works, Cadeas. When I'm in the drive-thru at McDonald's and I've got an iPhone and I want to use this, what do I touch with it? I mean, what do I put my fingerprint on it and they put
right now, at least the McDonald's that I've been to, they don't have it in the drive-thru. But if you go into McDonald's and you're standing at the register, there is a PayPass, because it's all PayPass. So there is a PayPass terminal sitting there, and you just sit your phone on the terminal. What Apple is saying you need to do is you need to put your fingerprint first to approve that you are. So if I steal CraigShipp's phone, I'm still not able to use his cards. If you come and steal my phone, you can still take my phone and use it all over town to make payments, as long as you know my PIN number. Apple's doing it this way, where it's the fingerprint. So you literally have to be there in order to do it. That's the only difference.
I see here on the screen, my screen, one-touch checkout, no card number entry, no need to type address, no card information shared with the merchant.
That's Google Wallet. You can just change that Apple Pay to Google Wallet. It's the same exact service. You wouldn't know anything
Walgreens, Macy's, Panera, Whole Food, McDonald's, Subway. Staples,
these are places that already do it. They've done it since 2010.
And that's quite a list.
Right, because they've been slowly adopting this over the years. Yeah. So it's the stores like Walmart. And
this is good for NFC payments in general, because you're going to see, I mean, all the other fast food places are going to do it now because Apple's going to give it the Apple bump.
Right. So now, if you didn't have any incentive to take on NFC, then here's your incentive. And on the flip side of this, now that every place and every location starts having NFC thanks to Apple, this also positions Bitcoin to make a play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
so this is definitely pushing everything forward. If they can convince Walmart and the big people to do it.
It's going to be amazing how this affects iPhone sales, because all these previous phones are all going to be obsolete now. This doesn't have NFC.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how many sales this is going to drive for people upgrading just for this purpose. It depends on how important this is to people, right?
Now they added another aspect of it too as well. The other aspect of it is it's another attack towards Google Wallet. So you have the ability to pay with Apple Pay as opposed to pay with Google Wallet when you go to certain websites and stuff. So, and apps can incorporate Apple Pay into their service.
Will there be places that have Apple Pay where Google Wallet will not work?
As far as you're talking about physical locations, no. Wherever Apple Pay is going to work, Google Wallet's going to work just fine.
But on websites, you said they could be different.
But websites, it's you know how you can pay with PayPal, pay with Google Wallet, pay with Apple Pay. That's not NFC. That's a whole different service. So you got your Google Wallet, Google Wallet, Google Wallet, and Google Wallet. Apple's got Apple Pay, Apple Pay, Apple Pay, and Apple Pay. Although they're just presenting it as one service, whereas Google presented it as four over the years.
If I'm on my phone and I'm on a website, you're saying I could pay with Apple Pay through the phone. As long
as that person who built the site or the store is allowing you to, if they coded it for Apple Pay.
Uh-oh, they got one more thing. As promised, Craig, in Craig's title of the video.
He actually said one more thing? Oh, look at that.
Yep. Ha!
I'll tell you what, I never cease
to watch. It's time for the next thing.
I never cease to amaze myself.
I think humility is your best feature, Craig.
Whole Foods, the healthiest grocery store and leading provider of organic food.
Is that the one more thing, Whole Foods?
And our own Apple retail stores.
Are you kidding me?
And Tim, Nilay Patel observes, this is the moment where Tim Cook completely took over Apple market.
Place on earth. Now, Disney is adding Apple Pay to all of their Disney stores and Disney World in time for Christmas. And that's just some of the many retailers that are adding Apple Pay in all of their locations.
What are they? Are they not in sync with the slides?
We want to make online purchases just
audio
as fast,
to be
more secure, more private.
The Verge.
There's over $1 billion a day spent on online purchases. That's 5 million daily transactions just in the U.S. alone. And the process is really cumbersome. You got these long forms to fill out for each and every app that you shop in. Well, with Apple Pay, one-touch checkout. There's no need to enter your credit card, your expiration date, your security code. You don't even have to enter your shipping or billing address. And none of your credit card information is shared with the merchant. We use the one-time payment number out of the secure element.
Oh, round, that sucks.
And we've been working with some great retailers like Target to enable Apple Pay into their shopping app. So, I don't know about you, but I'm looking for some Beats headphones.
Round makes no sense. That Motorola watch
with Apple Pay, you can just check out with a touch. And you see
the
credit card and the shipping address, and now with one touch, I've bought it. It's that simple. Now we're adding Groupon. Groupon is the leader of e-commerce, and they're incorporating Apple Pay right into their app. So now you can see a new deal and buy it without
a watch, Craig. That watch is interesting looking.
Got a new feature called
What's that knob on the right? What's that knob?
Without the need to create an account at all.
Looks like it's got a crown on it.
An arrow. Lets you order your favorite sandwich or salad and have it ready for pickup.
That's how you wind it.
MLB is adding the ability of buying tickets right in their app
in order to charge it. That would be interesting.
Apple stores where you can buy all of our
There's an 18-karat gold version.
And OpenTable. Now you use OpenTable to make dinner reservations.
Gotta be trolling us.
But in participating restaurants, you're going to be able to use Apple Pay in the
gold,
OpenTable app to pay for your check. That's really cool.
Holy shit. It's got a magnetic thing on the bottom to strap.
And that's just some of the many apps that are incorporating Apple Pay. Now in iOS 8, we have a new Apple Pay API that's going to be available to all developers.
38 millimeter, that's not that big. That's a good size.
Apple Pay. It comes with every iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. We're launching in the US next month.
Whoops, I'm sorry.
It'll be available as a free update to iOS 8. And we're working hard to bring Apple Pay to even more countries. And that's Apple Pay. Thank you.
36 millimeter. This watch. So 38 millimeter is a good size. Not too big.
Apple Pay will forever change the way all of us buy things. And it's just one more reason that iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus are the biggest advancement in the history of iPhone. Now, we've really gone through enough to call it.
He's got the watch on his wrist there in that picture where he's applauding.
iPhone 6 and iPhone 6
Plus. He's got the white wristband.
Absolutely incredible. and a whole new category of service with Apple Pay. But we're not quite finished yet. We have one more thing.
They call it Apple Watch.
Interesting observation from Neil A. Patel. They've moved away from the I branding. Apple Pay, Apple Watch.
We love to make great products that really enrich people's lives. We love to integrate hardware, software, and services seamlessly. We love to make technology more personal and allow our users to do things that they could never have imagined. We've been working incredibly hard for a long time on an entirely new product. And we believe this product will redefine.
So far, how do you rate this to what you were expecting from an iPhone?
What is that knob? What is that for? It doesn't
be a selector. You can go up and down on icons.
It doesn't look like you can plug in headphones. Is there a headphone jack on the other side?
The next chapter in Apple's.
It almost implies it's not a touch surface.
Here it is.
Oh, it's got to be touch. That'd be shocking if it wasn't touch.
Those icons are too small.
We lost the audio again? Jeez, what a
Maybe it's a volume knob, which would imply headphones.
I have no idea what it is.
Fitness device. Now, Apple Watch took very deep thinking, and out of this came some truly remarkable innovations. And one of those was the user interface.
That ain't no $200 watch.
With every revolutionary product that Apple has created, a breakthrough in user interface was required.
Yeah, I want to hear about this UI.
With the Mac, we introduced the mouse to make navigation so simple on a personal computer. The click wheel on the iPod allowed users to scroll through thousands of songs in the palm of their hand. And with iPhone, multi-touch gave us the ability to interact with a beautiful canvas of photos or videos or music or all of the information that we use every day. The Apple Watch required the same kind of careful, deliberate consideration. What we didn't do was take the iPhone and shrink the user interface and strap it on your wrist. The display is too small and it would be a terrible customer experience. For example, if you take a gesture like pinch to zoom, it covers the content, it obstructs your view. It just doesn't work. And so we placed extra functionality in a mechanism that's been on the watch for decades.
That's not
this dial.
Yeah.
It's called a crown.
Yeah.
And on the Apple Watch, it's called a digital crown.
Interesting.
The digital crown includes infrared LEDs and photodiodes that translate rotary movement into digital data.
This is clever.
You don't need to understand all of that. But it's a very simple and elegant and amazing input and navigation device. Let me give you an example. Here's back to the map. When you turn the digital crown, it zooms in and out. You have a list. You can scroll through the list, and you can do all of this without blocking the screen.
Does Android have anything like
that? If you're in an app, like the clock app as an example, if you press the digital crown, it returns to the home screen just as you would expect it to.
We'll save that conversation for later this week.
Okay.
Now, Apple Watch, of course, is made to be worn. And it can be worn all day for any occasion. It's as much about personal technology as it is style and taste. It seamlessly combines materials and software and technology. And we thought not only of the function, but of the way it looked. Apple Watch has an amazing and rich design story. And we prepared a video of that this morning that Johnny Ive narrates. There is no one better to tell the story than Johnny, and I would like to run it for you now.
You know, it's driven Apple from the beginning, this compulsion to take incredibly powerful technology and make it accessible, relevant, and ultimately personal. We've designed a range of products so personal, you don't put them on your desk or in your pocket, you wear them on your wrist. And we conceived, designed, and developed Apple Watch as a completely singular product. You know, you can't determine a boundary between the physical object and the software. We're introducing an unparalleled level of technical innovation combined with a design that connects with the wearer at an intimate level to both embrace individuality and inspire desire. The watch senses that you're raising your wrist and then activates the display. You see an organization of apps that, while new, is somehow familiar. Navigation is fluid and vital. Magnifying content on a small display is fundamentally important. So we've developed a whole new interface specific to the challenges associated with a product this small. The digital crown is a remarkable input device. It fluidly zooms into apps. It enables nimble, precise adjustment. And critically, you can use it without obstructing the display. It's also the home button.
Interesting.
Apps are designed for lightweight interaction. Smart replies and dictation let you respond quickly to messages. Glances let you swipe through information efficiently. And pressing the button below the digital crown instantly shows you friends you can contact in just seconds. And with digital touch, we've developed an entirely new way for you to connect intimately with others. You can get someone's attention with a gentle tap. You can send a quick sketch. Or you can even share something as personal as your own heartbeat. These are subtle ways to communicate that technology often inhibits rather than enables.
It's looking like you can do phone calls with it. How do you, I guess, you hear it? A little speaker or something? I don't see any headphones.
It's been laminated to a machined and polished single crystal of sapphire. That's the second hardest transparent material after diamond.
So it does have a sapphire screen. So that's what they're using.
In addition to the digital crown, we've had to invent other input technologies designed specifically for a product this small. So as well as sensing touch, the display also senses force, quite literally adding a new dimension to the user interface.
So it is a touch
electrodes around the display recognize the difference between a tap and a press. This provides instant access to a whole range of contextually specific controls. For the first time, and with great intention, we've designed not only what you see, but also what you hear and feel. We've developed a linear actuator that provides haptic feedback to complement your interactions. This haptic engine, combined with the audio feedback from our water-resistant speaker, creates a discrete and nuanced experience. At the heart of the watch is a custom-designed chip that integrates many subsystems into one remarkably compact module, which is then completely encapsulated to protect the electronics. It's essentially miniaturizing an entire computer system onto a single chip.
Wow.
The zirconia back has 4 sapphire lenses. Infrared and visible light LEDs, along with photosensors, detect your pulse rate. Using its gyroscope and accelerometer, and the GPS and Wi-Fi from your iPhone, the watch provides a comprehensive picture of your daily activity. This allows it to establish and suggest goals and reward fitness milestones. The back crystal also houses a unique charging solution that combines our MagSafe technology with inductive charging. Completely sealed, it requires no alignment or exposed contacts. Apple Watch is incredibly accurate. It uses multiple technologies, keeping time to plus or minus 50 milliseconds. We have worked closely with horological experts from around the world to help us understand
maybe Google Plus Week will start on
historical
time.
significance of timekeeping.
Dan gets one of these.
And this
You're not
has
that good.
profoundly informed our design.
Because you can start within 50
know
milliseconds.
that wearing something all day, every day, becomes as much about personal preference and self-expression as functionality. So we've designed a range of watch faces.
Plus or minus 50 milliseconds.
Yeah. I might actually get one of these.
You can personalize.
I wasn't gung-ho on it before, but
and
they
their
might have got me
capability.
here.
Personalization extends way beyond the interface. We have designed 6 different straps and a mechanism that makes the straps easily interchangeable with a refinement and precision that's born of functionality. The Sport Band, in a range of bold colors, is made from a tough,
Ooh, there's
durable,
two versions,
sweat
small
and
ones.
chemical
Yeah,
resistant
smaller one's probably for
high-performance
ladies.
elastomer. The leather loop comes in a soft, quilted leather that conceals magnets for fastening and adjustment. We've used traditional leather, but in a new sports context that's designed for optimum comfort. The supple, handcrafted leather modern buckle closes with a solid metal clasp and wraps symmetrically around the wrist. The simple leather classic buckle references traditional watch vocabulary. And the stainless steel link bracelet has a slim deployment clasp that is contained within a 2.6 millimeter band. The Milanese loop is crafted from a fluid, flexible stainless steel mesh with a magnetic closure that has an elegant simplicity and is infinitely adjustable. And of course, we knew one size wouldn't fit everyone, so we've also developed a smaller watch with matching smaller straps. From different cases and straps, we've actually created 3 distinct collections. The first, Apple Watch, features a polished case made from a custom alloy of stainless steel.
This thing's pretty epic, I think.
Yeah, they're appealing to teenagers with the colorful ones, for classy adults, women and men. It's
Well,
Or
depends
field
on
and anything from the Android.
depends on the price. Depends on the price as to how many teenagers are going to buy them.
Has an ion exchange cover glass and an anodized aluminium case.
I like the Mickey Mouse face.
It's stronger than standard alloys, and yet it's incredibly light and durable. Apple Watch Edition is made from 18-karat gold that our metallurgists have developed to be up to twice as hard as standard gold.
His accent makes it sound even cooler, you know.
Yeah.
Creating beautiful objects that are as simple and pure as they are functional, well, that's always been our goal at Apple.
Martin Bailey sounds just like
We designed Apple Watch as a whole range of products, enabling millions of unique designs, unparalleled personalization, both in appearance and capability.
He's used every possible adjective.
We're now at a compelling beginning, actually designing technology to be worn, to be truly personal.
pretty impressive. They may have saved the thing, and that's for 33 years, by the way. We were down as low as 6, and now we're back up to 33.
Okay, so what I find interesting on this is that they fixed the bands so that way it's not the traditional bands. So then that way you couldn't attach this to any other kind of watch. You have to use their bands in order to do it. So I found that kind of interesting that they went that route with it, but obviously we know why they did it. And I'll say the rest on our other show.
Well, but if you think about it, these watches are really they have to make the size and shape for functionality, and for them to design it to fit like regular watch bands wouldn't make any sense. They need to design the thing for best functionality and then use the band that works with that thing.
The very first live demo of Apple Watch. Kevin?
By the way, the live stream, there's been a lot of problems with our viewers
excited to
with
show
the
you all
live
our
stream.
work, and I'm wearing Apple Watch right here.
We're doing the best we can.
Now, to give you a better look, since this is a little hard for you to see, we've built a custom one that's connected to the display here. So let's take a look at that. Now, I also have my iPhone, which is required with Apple Watch. And the first thing you're going to see on your watch when you look at it is the clock. Now, we thought a lot when we were designing Apple Watch about how to really reveal all of the great ecosystem of applications on this device. And we wanted to build it in a way that was really easy to find and use. So we've connected it to the digital crown. So if I press the digital crown at the top here, it takes me out to my applications. Very easy to get out to my apps. Now, when I'm here, you can see the clock is the center of the universe. And the apps you frequently use, you might put around the clock here. You can arrange these how you like. And I can pan just by simply swiping on the screen here. I can go from one area to another of my applications. I can also get an overview of all of my apps just by rotating the crown. I will zoom out to a universe of apps. And you can arrange this just how you like. And by tapping, you can go right into a neighborhood of apps. And if you'd like to go back to the clock, you press the crown, and it brings you right back to the clock again. Now, to launch apps, it's very simple, of course. You just tap on one of them. Here's the clock. Now, the watch faces can be customized just how you like. You can choose different ones. You can arrange them just for yourself. And to customize your watch face, you just force touch on the display, and it goes back a little bit. Now I can simply swipe over here, and I can choose another watch face. So if I like this one, I can tap on it. That's now my watch face. I can also customize the appearance and the functionality of these faces. So again, if I force touch here, it will bring me out, and I can choose Customize. And here I can change the color of the face. Just by rotating the crown, I can change the color here and slide into some different colors on my watch. Or if I want to change the functionality of this face, I can just swipe over, and the green outline shows me what I'm currently changing. So I'll change the center area just by rotating the crown again. You can see I have a variety of information I can pull in here right on my watch face. This is my next meeting, which I use a lot, so I'll keep this just by force touching. Let's look at a couple of other faces we have here. This is one of my favorite ones. This is called the astronomy face, and it shows you where you are in the Earth. So if you wake up and forget where you are, you can just look here. And you can go fly to the moon. If you tap on the bottom left here, it will actually fly me over to the moon. This is the moon phase. We scheduled our event on a nice full moon, so this will look great here. And I can rotate the crown here, and it will advance time. So you can see I can go forward and look at the new moon. I can see where the next quarter one's happening and the next full one in about a month. So it's a lot of fun to play with some of these faces as well. In addition to the Earth and the moon, I can zoom out even further, and I can look at the whole solar system. And you can see where all the planets, this is the actual position of the planets right now for this time. And if you forget which planets are which, I can just double tap here, and it will give me a little cheat sheet.
They're showing playing music there. How in the heck are you going to play music if there's no headphones?
That's a great watch face called astronomy.
Maybe they'll have to be
There's a whole
Bluetooth.
variety of watch faces here. We spend a lot of time just doing some beautiful work here on.
I'm sure Beats will have a nice accessory
This
for
is
that.
a nice analog one. Now, in addition to looking at the time, we also thought it's really important to look at other information as well. So how do we represent that in a really glanceable way? So we've created something called glances. And the way you get to glances is you just swipe up from the bottom of the watch face, and you'll see information that you choose to have here.
46 viewers.
From our built-in apps. It can be from third-party apps. And you can arrange these just how you like. Here's my next meeting. And if I just swipe horizontally, I can see
Dan
things like
McDermott is helping us out with this dream.
Weather outside.
We host Google Plus Week every Friday night. Google
World Time,
Plus Week.
where I can see
McDermott.
music I'm currently playing on devices around me. And with this, you can actually control music on your iPhone, music on iTunes on your computer, or the music that's stored right in your Apple Watch. Here I've got it connected to my iPhone, which is plugged into the speakers in this room, so it will sound really good. So let's listen to a little Coldplay here.
You're a sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give.
So Kadeus, are you thinking you would have, if you're out in the
volume,
crowd,
everything you'd
have
expect right here from your
Bluetooth
watch.
headphones
When you're
on?
done with
That's how you
glances,
do
you
that?
just swipe down, and they go away. Now, in addition to your looking at information, you may have information coming to you.
Again, what was your question?
So if you're out and about and you're using this phone and you want to play some music, you basically would have like Bluetooth headphones on probably?
Yeah, that or like if you got the since Apple's Bluetooth is pretty nice, it's paired with your car and with your watch simultaneously.
Yeah.
So you're still able to hit play. I mean, it's the way Android Wear works now. You can hit play and control the music on the device it's paired with, and then whatever the device is connected to or plugged into.
You
will
can
play the
select
music.
that, yeah, and send it to that, yeah.
Right now, I'm waiting for them to show me AirPlay integrated with this, because this is what we have with Chromecast right now in Android TV. Is I can control Android TV from my Moto 360. So I want to see how they're going to handle that too. So
gotcha.
Looks like they're preset, maybe accept, decline if you get a calendar invite. So here, I'll throw us back into the audio.
And we're at 56 views.
Am I going with Love Shack or Wild Thing?
56 viewers.
I think he's teasing me. I'm going to press reply. Now we've created something called QuickBoard to enable really quick replies to messages that you're getting. And you can see here we've actually analyzed the text that's coming in and picked out some things you might want to just tap on and send back. So I'm not going to tell Johnny what I'm seeing. It's a secret, of course. Now I can also use dictation to reply. That will send either an audio recording of my voice, or I can convert that to text and send it. Or I can use a new selection of animated emoji that we've created for Apple Watch. Let's use an emoji. So I'm going to tap there. And we've got a great collection here of emoji. These are hands, hearts, and then also faces. I think I'll choose a face to send back to Johnny. Now, when you're actually sending a face here, you can control both the eyes and the mouth to get just the right expression you'd like to send to somebody. So here I'll just edit this a little bit. I'll make it, this is a winking one if I change the eye. Or if I want to do something a little bit more with the mouth here, I can change that. I think that's perfect to send back to Johnny. All right.
Neely
And
notes there hasn't been word on connectivity
now that's
yet.
sending an animated emoji to Johnny. He can view that on his phone or his watch, and it has the same kind of lively character that I just created. And that lets you send a lot of emotion without interacting very much at all on your watch. There's a lot that Apple Watch can do. I'm going to show you a few more things here. The first one is that we've built Siri into Apple Watch. So we can use Siri just by pressing the digital crown here and ask a question like, what movies are playing, for example. What movies are playing tonight in Cupertino? So Siri will go out and check that information. It comes back with a list of movies that are playing around us here in Cupertino.
I just want to know
I can
if
use
a
the crown to
speakerphone
scroll this, or I can use my finger
If
to
it's
scroll
not,
this.
what the
Now,
hell good is
just,
it?
tap on Guardians of the Galaxy.
I got to pull my phone out of my pocket
We
anyway.
get some very nice poster art there. We can see the ratings, who's in the movie, lots of information, including showtime, synopsis. So you can use a lot of Siri functionality right here on your wrist with Apple Watch. Now, we also looked at how you can carry your photos with you. And it's almost like having a little locket of photos right here with you. So we've got a Photos app here. And now, of course, precious photos number in the hundreds rather than a couple. So here you can see an overview much like you can on your iPhone. Now, though, I can use the digital crown to zoom right in to photos and see which ones I'd like to look at. Or I can easily just pan around and look at photos from different times. And if I'd like to, I can tap on photos and bring them in larger on the screen here. And I can look at them one by one just by swiping. So this is a really great way to bring your precious photos with you. Now, by default, all of the photos that you favorite on your iPhone or your Mac will just show up on your Apple Watch. It can be any collection that you like to show here. One other app I'd like to show you is Maps, which is amazing to have a Maps application on such a little device. So let's tap on Maps here. Of course, it shows me where I'm at here at Flint Center, and I can pan around just by swiping. So we can see the neighborhood. I can also zoom out with the crown. If I rotate the crown, it zooms me out. I can see more of the area. You can see this is really tightly connected as I'm rotating the crown, super responsive. I can also pan around this view, and if I'd like to get back to where I am, I can press on the bottom left. It takes me right there. Now, if I'd like to look for things around me, you can bring up a context menu for Maps by force touch. And here I have a search command. And I can find things by dictation, my favorites, or if I recently searched for things, I can just tap on those. So we've got Whole Foods here. Let's get directions to Whole Foods. I'll just tap there. And it's going to calculate, find the local Whole Foods here. And you got the hours, and you have also a phone number if you'd like to call Whole Foods, and you have directions, walking and driving. So let's get walking directions to Whole Foods.
Interesting.
So it'll
vibrate to tell you to turn left or right.
I'm going to press start. It's going to do a little simulated walk so you can see how it goes here. Now, while you're walking, Apple Watch will give you taptic feedback on each turn, so you'll know whether it's time to turn left or to turn right. And those feelings are different for each direction. So you can actually know without even looking at your watch which way to go. It's like having this invisible guide with you. That's Maps on Apple Watch. Now, the last app I'd like to show you is one that we worked on a lot in terms of communication. We thought hard about how to enable a new form of communication, given that we have the Taptic engine and you're wearing Apple Watch. We've created something called Digital Touch. And you get to your friends with Digital Touch by pressing this button right below the digital crown. And there are my friends. Of course, you can choose who you'd like to have here in your friend list. And I can communicate with someone just by tapping. So I'll tap here on my friend Jeff. And I can either phone him or I can send him a message. Or if I tap right in the center, I can create this new form of digital touch communication with Jeff. And here I can draw and tap and have a much richer live communication with Jeff. He and I go out to lunch a lot, so we've now established this little code. When we're getting hungry, we can just tap each other, and we'll feel it on our wrist. So I'll just do
How do you phone him? Is there a speakerphone in the daggone thing?
They haven't answered that question.
I am right now.
It seems like a basic question.
Okay, so we do this a lot. That means what's for lunch.
Because
so
if I got to pull my phone out of my
I know that Jeff really loves
thing.
sushi, so I'm going to bring up the color picker and pick a nice blue color, and I'm going to draw a fish. So I know how much Jeff loves sushi. I'm drawing in front of millions of people.
The problem is all these hipsters say, well, I don't make phone calls. I don't
fish.
care about phone calls. Well, I do make
So that's being sent now. Jeff is really excited. I don't know if you noticed, he just sent me his heartbeat. He doesn't always do that. This is a special day. And that's not just an emoji. That actually is reading the heart rate off of Jeff's wrist with Apple Watch and sending me his heartbeat so I can feel it on my wrist. That's never been done before. It's a really great aspect of this new form of communication with digital touch. Those are just a few things on Apple Watch. And I was happy to give you a little glimpse at what Apple Watch does.
Digital touch and haptic feedback are the new sexting, according to Zach Seward from.
I mean, what in
This
the
has been a really collaborative effort across Apple, and it's just such an honor to work with the team. Now, in addition to the work we've been doing, we've also been working to enable third-party developers to extend their apps to Apple Watch. And apps are, of course, something we pioneered with the App Store on the iPhone, and developers create things that do things we never imagined were possible. And we think there's a great opportunity now in Apple Watch for them. So we've created something to enable this on the Apple Watch. Initially, notifications will just show up. So for example, if you've got a notification from Facebook coming in, it'll look like this. If you choose to have these appear on your watch, you can have any of your third-party apps appear here, and they look very simple. Now, you can extend this even further and create a much more integrated experience with Apple Watch with something called WatchKit. WatchKit is something that enables developers to create rich, actionable notifications with those buttons, WatchKit apps that appear right on the home screen, and also the glances that we saw. So here are a few examples of this. Here we have Twitter with a notification coming in. And you can see it's using the same layout as the original tweet, but now it's much richer with images and text. It looks like the Twitter brand, and it has buttons that you'd like to use to favorite or retweet right on that message. Now, in addition to custom notifications, you can also create apps that appear on the home screen. Here's the Twitter app. If I tap on that, it will just launch the app. And here I can view things on my timeline, look at trending tweets, or I can actually tweet from my Apple Watch by tapping on the top there. A few more examples. When you're traveling with Apple Watch, it's really great. American Airlines has created a great experience all the way from checking in with one tap on your watch all the way through collecting your bags. When you're checking into a hotel, Starwood Hotels is creating this great app for Apple Watch that lets you check into the hotel, and you can unlock your hotel room door by waving your watch in front of the door.
Relay notes advanced and rare, but the apps aren't mind-bogglingly ahead of what's happening on Google's platform.
And that will be available across all W hotels in the springtime around the world. City Mapper enables you to get mass transit directions, and it will also remind you to get off the right
does that mean NFC is in the watch?
Pinterest, when you've pinned sites in cities you're traveling to, it can remind you when you get...
I couldn't hear you. Still can't hear you. No problem. Okay, don't worry. Just go back to the feed. Go back to what you were doing. We lost the audio now completely. Still can't hear audio now. We lost your audio. So does that mean it has NFC?
Great apps are already underway for Apple Watch, and we just can't wait to see what developers
so it has NFC. That's a yes.
Thank you very much.
Great job.
Brist Newton.
So nod if this is true, Cadeus. This means that I don't need to buy the new phone. If I buy the watch that has the NFC, then I should be able to do the Apple payment stuff.
And I'd like to spend a moment talking about yet one more, and that is health and fitness. This is a very important area for me and a very important area for Apple. Apple builds great products that enrich people's lives, and arguably we can take that to a whole new level with Apple Watch. Being more active, as it turns out, is one of the best things you can do to improve your health. An Apple Watch gives us the ability to motivate people to be more active and more healthy. So if you're just someone who wants to be a bit more active, or maybe you just want to track what you're doing during the day, or perhaps you exercise regularly, or even if you're a very serious athlete, Apple Watch helps you live a better day. We have two new applications in Apple Watch. The first is the Fitness app. The Fitness app monitors all of your activity and movement throughout the day. And the second is the Workout app. The Workout app allows you to set specific goals for specific types of workouts, like cycling or running. We've built an incredible team in health and fitness at Apple to work on Apple Watch. And in the video that follows, they're going to show you how all of this comes together to give you a comprehensive view of your daily activity.
Apple Watch is designed to help anyone who wears it lead a healthier life by being more active. From people who just want to be more active throughout their day, to those who work out a few times a week, to athletes committed to improving their performance. Apple Watch brings together the capabilities of an all-day fitness tracker and a highly advanced sports watch in one device you can wear all the time. It can track a wider variety of activities because it's able to collect more types of data. It uses an accelerometer to measure your total body movement. It has a custom sensor that can measure intensity by tracking your heart rate. And it uses the GPS and Wi-Fi in your iPhone to track how far you've moved. We wanted to give you the most complete picture of your all-day activity and not just highlight the quantity of movement, but the quality and frequency as well. So the Activity app on Apple Watch measures 3 separate aspects of movement with the goal of helping you sit less, move more, and get some exercise. The Move Ring measures the calories you've burned. That gives you the best overview of how active you are. The Move Ring is customized to you, and you close it when you hit your personal calorie goal for the day. The Exercise Ring captures the brisk activity that you've done. This doesn't necessarily mean hardcore exercise. It means any activity done at the level of a brisk walk or above. You close the ring when you hit the globally recommended 30 minutes of exercise per day. And it doesn't even need to be all at once. The Stand Ring shows how often you've stood up to take a break from sitting, which helps you minimize your sedentary time. Now, this may seem like a small thing, but sitting less can go a long ways towards improving your health. A complete ring means that you've stood for at least 1 minute in 12 different hours during the day. There's also a dedicated workout app to provide more detailed measurement when you need it most. You can select your workout from a list of popular activities, then set a goal based on how long you want to work out, the number of calories you want to burn, or the distance you want to go. And during your workout, you can see in a glance how far, how fast, and how long you've been at it.
Okay, I want one. What the hell's the price and how soon can I get it?
When you're done, you can end your workout, see an entire summary of your session, and earn awards for your achievements. The fitness app on the iPhone stores all your activity
November or something.
and lets you see your workout history whenever you want.
Maybe
It
October.
also shares your data with the Health app, where it can be accessed by health and fitness related third-party apps. Over time, Apple Watch actually gets to know you the way a good personal trainer would. It's designed to deliver intelligent reminders to keep you motivated and on track. And it can suggest goals that are personal, realistic, and most important, achievable, which gives you a far better chance of succeeding. Apple Watch is going to greatly improve the way we keep track of our activity and change the way we look at fitness. We think it's going to help a lot of people live a better day and a healthier life.
They may have nailed the watch thing here.
Damn impressive watch. After they're done, we'll get Cadeas's initial thoughts comparing this to Rare.
It doesn't look too big like a lot of the watches I've seen. It looks like it's just the right size. Doesn't look too big.
We could not be more excited about bringing these health and fitness features to the Apple Watch. Apple Watch required some deep innovation. It's a precise timepiece with incredible ability to customize. It's a new, innovative, intimate way to communicate directly from your wrist. And it's a comprehensive health and fitness device. And it is so much more that we don't have time to cover this morning. I use mine to control my Apple TV.
It works with your phone, Craig.
Another member of the team loves to use theirs as a viewfinder for their iPhone camera. Still another loves the walkie-talkie ability. The list of features is a mile long. And I'm certain when developers get their hands on the developer kit, that list will get even longer, and there will be things that we couldn't even imagine in it. Apple Watch has been curated into 3 collections: the Apple Watch Sport, and the Apple Watch Edition. Apple Watch requires the iPhone because
Early
it's
2015 starts at $349.
together, like with handoff, where you might read an email on your watch and then respond to it on the iPhone. The email appears right in the lock screen of your iPhone.
That's a good
really
price
cool.
point for a starting point.
Of course, Apple Watch works with iPhone 6.
What do you think the 18 gold one's going to be, like
but
$5
we've
grand?
also designed it so that it will work with iPhone 5, iPhone 5C, and iPhone 5S.
I want to see how aggressive they are on the 18 karat gold one. If it's under $5 grand, it's a good
This means
price.
that over 200 million people
I hate to buy something like that in 18
already
karat
can
gold
use
that's going to be
Apple
obsolete in 2 years.
Now, we expect the usage of Apple Watch through the day to be incredible because there's so many different things you can do with it. And so we've designed it so that it's simple to charge at night. We're using inductive charging. It has a magnet and it aligns perfectly to the back of the watch. It is so simple and elegant. It's something only Apple could do.
Craig, what's a normal 18 karat gold watch cost?
Say again?
What's a
Apple
normal
Watch
18 karat
starts
gold
at
watch go
only
for?
$349.
Without a band, should be about $5,000. Just a case.
And it will be available early next year, and it is worth the wait. We think people are going to love to use Apple Watch. They're going to love to wear it. It's something functional, yet incredibly beautiful. It empowers people and enriches their lives. Apple Watch is the most personal device Apple has ever created. We are so excited about Apple Watch, and I hope you are as well.
How much is the 18 karat gold one? Come on. Tobias and I don't want no steal stuff. I can't hear you, Kadesh. Your mic is dead. Your mic's dead. Sorry. Still no mic from Kadesh. He's saying he wants 2 of the 18 karat gold ones.
These are the best iPhones we've ever made. And they have amazing larger displays, but more importantly, they're better in every
stumbling
way.
The heck?
It's the biggest
Did you rehearse
advancement
this
in the
thing?
history of iPhone. And Apple Pay. It's going to change the way you pay for things forever. And everything you need is right in your iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Now, it also works with another product.
Yeah, but do I need
Apple
to have
Pay
the new
will work
phone?
with Apple
That's
Watch.
the question. Can I just buy the watch? Apple Pay?
Everything you need is built right into Apple Watch. And so now, the foundation of Apple is built on the best personal computers in the world with the Macintosh, the best tablets in the world with iPad, the best phones in the world with iPhone, made even better today with iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, running the world's most advanced mobile operating system with iOS 8. We couldn't be more excited that iOS 8 is finding its way into other parts of people's lives with HomeKit, HealthKit, and CarPlay. And now adding Apple Watch. Apple Watch, the most personal device we've ever created. It will redefine what people expect from a watch.
So they're bringing a band out. There were rumors about you too.
Now, there's one other thing I'd like to talk about.
I have to kill the stream. I don't want to do the copyright.
And that is our love for music. Music runs deep in Apple's DNA. and
So
it
they got
runs through
one
the
more
core of
thing.
all of our products.
The iTunes Festival
Apple
London.
changed the way people
YouTube's
listen to
performing.
music a decade ago, and iTunes has been at the center of that experience. We celebrate our love for music with the iTunes Festival, and it is going on as we speak in London at the historic Roundhouse. Tonight, Sam Smith will be performing. Over the years, we've had some of the best musical artists in history performing at the iTunes Festival, and some of the best performing at our own Apple events. And through that time, we've built a very deep relationship with the music industry and the artists that make it up. A decade ago, we began a very deep collaboration with one of the best bands of all time. And that band is U2. U2 has agreed to perform for you today. And we could not be more excited about this. U2 is among the most respected artists in the world, among the best-selling. They've won more Grammy Awards than any single band in history. They're a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And as accomplished as
go
they
ahead
are
and
in
kill
music,
the audio from the, at least not feed it to us, or should I just mute you?
We can keep it until they start, right?
Well,
Once the
I
first
don't need to
notes
hear
go,
about
we'll kill
you two. I want to talk about what we've
for us to have U2.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, so I just want to talk about what we've seen and check in and see what the folks at Twit are saying. Does anybody have their stream available? Dan, can we go back?
I don't, but I've got the. I mean, I can't get their audio in.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask Cadeas what his initial 10,000 feet in the air opinion of. I've got the Twitch stream up now, and I'll just talk over that. But what do you, Cadeas, from 10,000 feet in the air? What are your initial impressions of Wear versus this watch?
Apple spent a lot more time on it. That's really it. That's all I can say right now, with the exception of not argue. Me and Alan are probably going to argue about this.
So
I personally don't like the design and the size of it. So.
What would you like to see on the size? You wouldn't want it any bigger, would you?
I don't know, and that's why I have to see it in person. I'm going to have to see it it looks like a toy. I don't know. I have to see it in person.
Okay.
It looks like, well, I guess they said starting at $349, but they haven't given any pricing on the gold. And I guess if it's coming out 2015, gold fluctuates so much, it'd be premature to give any kind of idea of what that would cost, right? And that will probably be.
They're still going to have to.
I don't think it's worth $349. I didn't see anything that puts it in the $349 category other than the Apple logo. So.
Well, but that's always the case. Their stuff is always expensive.
There's going to be just a little bit more because of the logo.
Yeah. The Apple tax, they call it. Yeah. But you see, we can debate as to whether or not it's the logo or it's the time and effort they put into it and the thought and the execution and the materials. I think everything is better, but that's just my opinion. I'm going to probably buy one. I mean, I guess I can take probably out of that. I'm absolutely going to buy one. The question is which one, and whether or not I'll use it or not. That's the secondary question. I'm sure I'll use it some. If I can't use it as a speakerphone, though, I mean, to me, if I got a phone call coming in, one of the coolest things is if I'm at an event or something like that, I usually don't take calls or anything because I don't want to fumble with my phone. A lot of times my hands are halfway full or whatever. If I could just tap a little thing or whatever and just quickly answer the call and say, hey, listen, I'm at an event, I'll have to call you back, at 4 o'clock, that would be a big thing for me.
The issue with that, though, Craig, is that everybody's arm is different. You're going to hold it in a different fashion, so it's harder to isolate. the sound versus the background sound in that scenario versus if you when you're talking on the phone, you always
I hold my phone all the time like this and talk like a speakerphone. I set it on the camera.
Right, but we're talking about actual like logistics of making this work 100% would require that. It would require them to be able to pinpoint roughly, without telling you how to hold your phone, roughly where everyone's going to do it, and it's not logistically possible. Samsung tried it with one of their gears. It's just not.
So you can't, with a Samsung watch, you can't hold it like this and do a speakerphone conversation.
But it's not good.
I don't care if it's good. Yeah, I don't care if it's good. If they can barely hear me and I can barely hear them, all I'm going to tell them is, hey, I'm busy right now. I'm calling you at 4 o'clock. Like it or leave it, right?
So why not just you got a phone call and you reject the call with a message of your choice, telling them I'm busy, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you in 5 minutes, I'll call you tomorrow.
I guess that's okay. I actually like to talk to people. I'm not a
right, but you said you can't hear
guys, they said there's a walkie-talkie feature. That implies some sort of speaker and microphone, right?
Did they say that?
They said there's a walkie-talkie feature. So does that mean with a Bluetooth thing, or it obviously wouldn't be through the phone because it will be the point in having it on your phone.
I didn't see that.
I'll put it this way: if it has the speakerphone thing, I would probably wear it a lot more. I'm going to buy it either way because $350. I mean, that's throwaway money. I'm just going to buy one just to buy it. But
gotta hope we don't get back to the days with Nextel where everyone's doing the walkie-talkie thing in the grocery store.
I didn't hear them say that. I know they have that feature where you can send stuff you draw, but I don't remember the name of it. But I didn't hear them say walkie-talkie at all.
So there's a lot of, as usual, there's a lot of unanswered questions. It's amazing to me that they can spend 2 hours and not even answer the key questions that I would think are important, but I guess maybe just to me.
Can we go back to the audio feed once the music's over, Kadeus?
It's just you two talking on stage.
Yeah, they're going to wrap up. They usually
talking to Tim Cook.
Yeah, usually.
You want to hear that? I can click it and bring it in.
Yeah. Usually, once they do the entertainment, usually that's it. They go on to the.
They're just thanking each other. Tim Cook's
What they're going to do now is they're going to go. Everybody's going to have some hands-on. They're going to have a viewing area where everybody's going to go and play with the stuff, and then hopefully Leo is going to start getting some reports from his people there on the scene that are going to go to the viewing room and actually handle these devices. He was planning on getting some reports from them as soon as he possibly can, once they've actually seen, touched, and felt these things.
All the time. That's what we do.
I bet there are $250,000 for one song to fly out.
We had one that was as good as our very best work, as good as the best we've ever.
They might have just done a deal with them where we'll like highlight.
We're the blood in your machines.
We'll highlight your song.
Zen master of hard and software.
30 days on iTunes.
Look, we fit it.
Apple has some leverage.
This time last week, we finished our album. It's called Songs. Would you like to do it in?
That's somebody's phone.
Okay, Glass. Answer call.
Okay, Apple phone.
Speaking of calls, see, I told you calls still happen. These hipsters saying that they don't do phone calls. Even hipsters do phone calls sometimes.
Kind of see it.
Is this a white label copy?
That's a white label copy. That is. And the question is, and I think you can help us. How do we get this to as many people as possible?
Well, you know, we do have iTunes.
I do believe you have over 500 million subscribers to iTunes, so could you get this to them?
Sure, we could do that.
Could you, like, do it in, like, 5 seconds just by pressing a sort of magic Apple send button? You could do that?
If we gave it away for free.
Uh-oh.
But first you would have to pay for it.
Away a song.
Because we're not going in for the free music around here. You would consider?
I've been told I'm a good negotiator.
You would consider putting Songs of Innocence out to over 500 million people free in, say, 5 seconds from now?
Yes. We press the button, it'll take a little longer to get all the way across the internet, but it can start in 5 seconds.
So U2, let me just get this straight. U2's new album, Songs of Innocence, is going out for free to 500 million people in the next 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How do we get it?
Wow, that's instant gratification.
Can we just launch iTunes and we can get it?
Is that an album or is that a song?
Just a song.
You're not kidding. That just happened.
I'm going there right now. See if it downloads automatically. I guess you got to go there and get it though. Yeah, I guarantee you got to go there and get it. I'm going there now.
The Apple team, this is a very, very big deal for us.
Of course, the store won't load. Everybody's going there right now.
The name, but we really do want to get our. We put everything we have into this as our most personal record. So, thank you so much.
Now, what was the name of it?
I think that was a 7-figure deal, Craig.
What was the name of the deal? What's the name?
Songs of Innocence.
Songs of Innocence.
Just to make sure that we're all clear, every iTunes customer gets this album, this incredible album, for free. That's over 500 million customers. And
how do we get it? I can't find it.
The largest album release of all time. Now, just to go through the details, every iTunes customer in 119 countries. It's available throughout the day in your iTunes music library. All you have to do is click, and you can begin listening.
Click where? I'm there.
Music. It will also be on iTunes Radio and Beats Music. Yeah. And
I can't find the daggone thing.
We know.
It will only be with Apple until mid-October. And so if you aren't an iTunes customer today, become one before mid-October and you get this album for free. I'd really like to thank the band. This is incredible for us and incredible for all of our customers, and I can't think of anyone they would like to have music from more. Thanks, guys.
Well, I can't find it.
Thank you so much.
Find it, Cadenas? Cadenas is mad.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give them a big hand. Now, we were so excited about this, we made an ad. Because we want to make sure everybody knows about it so everybody can take advantage of it. And I'd love to run it for you now.
That's got the music, Craig. You don't want to mute.
Yeah, what's the name of the, mute him right now. What's the name of the daggone thing? The album?
I think it's Songs of Innocence.
Yeah, I can't find it.
It'll come up. Funny tweet from Alana Horowitz here. She says, a new YouTube album and a $350 watch. What a day to be a white male in America. That's funny.
This is funny as shit. I'm searching here and it just doesn't come up.
It'll come up. It'll come up.
He was talking like in 5 seconds. You know, it's going to go out to everybody. It ain't here. It ain't in the store. It's not featured under music on the homepage of this music. And I've searched for it, and I can't find it. I guess I should search U2. See what comes up.
While you're doing that, I'll just say we'll have on our program Friday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We'll have analysis of this with Alan Furstenberg, Cadeas, and Michael Ellis, and Pam, and also a good comparison between Android Wear and the watch selection we have, and the Apple Watch. A first comparison look Monday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on our Android Week.
Exactly. That's a pretty big deal, that show, too. So.
We also have YouTube, but Apple.
And how do they find that show? What's the easiest way for them to find the show?
Go to myname.net, danmcdermott.net, and you'll find my Google Plus profile, and the shows are live there. Also, if you want more from Tim Cook on ABC World News Tonight, David Muir has an exclusive interview with Apple CEO Tim Cook on ABC News this evening.
Do the folks at Twit have anything interesting to say? I'm interested to hear what Alex Lindsay has to say about this watch. Because
they're just running the feed now.
Oh, they're still on the U2 thing? Interesting. Well, you know, I wasn't excited at all about the watch, but now I'm going to go ahead and get one, I think, and I'm going to try it out. I'm still not that excited about it, especially if it doesn't have a speakerphone. Then, I mean, it's dead to me, because that's really what I would use it for at an event. Because right now, as it is, I mute my phone at events, and I don't even know that the phone rang or anything. I just kill it. But if I had a watch that would vibrate or something, and I could just quickly take the call and just deal with it real quick without fumbling with the phone or anything like that, I might be willing to do that.
It'll be interesting to see it's kind of innovative, the turn-by-turn navigation with different vibrating movements to tell you to turn left or right, so you could have the radio blaring, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of uses on this, I think.
Like, I get frustrated because I don't have a dedicated GPS in my car, so I use my phone for that. But then it's frustrating when you're trying to, if you're in a city or a new place and you're doing frequent turns, and then someone calls you, you know, you're like, no, don't call now, you know, because I'm trying to do my turn-by-turn.
Right.
You can do both. So this is interesting. It's a good day. Their stock will go up, I imagine.
You think so, even with all the technical issues?
I think that's completely irrelevant. I think very, very few people watch this kind of thing outside of geek circles and journalists.
Yeah, but you don't think they're going to jump all over all these, that they've lost their mojo? They can't even handle the technical aspects of the stream?
No, zero impact.
I'll tell you though, I'm a little concerned. I don't like the fact that the Sapphire screen is missing in action from the phone. I don't like the fact that 4K is not in the camera, which I didn't anticipate it. None of the rumors said it would have 4K, so I'm not surprised it doesn't have it, but I'm disappointed. And I think that the reason they didn't do it is Apple always goes for the big market, right? They don't look at niche at all. They're not interested in niche with their phones. So they want to sell 50 million of these things. And I guess they don't think 4K is a thing yet. I guess it'll wait until a year from now.
It isn't a thing yet.
Which is a shame, because if they would have pushed it forward, if they'd have come out with 4K, I think that would have made it a thing for this Christmas. I think you would have seen TVs like crazy, and it would have been a thing this Christmas. But now I'm not so sure it's going to be a thing this Christmas.
I wouldn't be surprised to see next year an actual Apple television set come out. If they partnered with someone, an Apple-branded actual TV set that was 4K.
Yeah, and there's been rumors of that for years, too. Alex Lindsay has wanted one for years. I think that they're staying mainstream. They're probably going to sell a ton of these freaking things, including the watches, which nobody else has done. All the other smartwatches have been abysmal failures. I think that this thing's going to be, there's going to be a lot of uptake on it. And I'll tell you what, somebody said the Swiss watch manufacturers need to watch their back, and I agree with that, because, I mean, this is going to take a lot of oxygen out of the environment for high-end watches, because a lot of people are going to buy the regular $350 one and use it. Some of the high-end folks will buy the 18-karat gold one just to show off. And if they sell literally millions of these things, I wouldn't buy stock in any of the watch manufacturers.
Well, they're going to come out with Android Wear watches, because that's their only option. They can't do an iOS watch.
Yeah,
they're going to have to go with Android Wear.
Yeah, but do you think like makers like Omega and Rolex and other people like that are going to stoop that low? I don't think they will. And people have said that Rolex, this isn't going to affect Rolex, right, because that's a whole different thing. But I don't know. If this becomes the hip thing to have, you know, an Apple Watch becomes the hip thing, then it could I think it could destroy some of those high-end watch markets.
I think they're going to make smartwatches, and their only option. I mean, why do a proprietary thing and reinvent the wheel when you got Android Wear? They can't do iOS. I think you're going to see that. Why let that segment pass you by?
Maybe. It'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if some of these manufacturers that make these analog, high-end watches, if they actually go that route. That would be interesting to see. Or if they just become a more and more of a niche thing for the people that just don't want a digital watch, right? That just want analog, and that becomes more and more niche. That's assuming, of course, that this watch takes off and that it's popular and they sell them in the millions. We don't know that that's going to happen yet.
I think it's pretty impressive.
What are the Twit folks saying anything at this point?
It's a white screen.
They got nothing? They're not even giving their opinions on the thing?
You're standing, that's when you're sitting.
It's rewinding stuff.
Here's something interesting. Nobody in the press can touch any of the watches that are on display right now.
I'd be interested to hear what Alex Lindsay has to say about the watch, if he says anything about it.
The two biggest surprises from this event are...
They're going to do a MacBreak Weekly show after this. They're going to do a whole show, MacBreak Weekly show, where they'll sum it all up and all that. So I'll pay attention to that.
I got a roll. Good job. Event.
Yeah, so I guess, we're going to stay live here for a couple more minutes and see if Kadeus even comes back. And we'll do a wrap-up. Anyway, thanks for helping out on those stats for Audrey. And if there are any viewers that were here at the beginning and that are here now and you want to learn more about Audrey, just go to hoopinglive.com. Hoopinglive.com is the best place to go to follow her and learn about what she's up to and all that. She's going to be a big star. You heard it here first. And I think Michael Ellis agrees.
Yeah, she was great.
She's only 1,500 likes away from 100,000.
Wow.
So she's on track for about when you were predicting. Your extensive analysis of the data is proving relevant and accurate.
A couple hours, a little over 2 hours away, I think. So yeah, about 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6.
Yeah, that's when you called it. Yep. So that's a thing. So obviously this Apple event didn't take any oxygen out of the environment as far as her numbers. They're still cooking along.
They may have been just listening to the video while they're watching the Apple event, or since they couldn't watch the Apple event, they went back.
Yeah, personally, I've only watched the video 85 times so far. So there's that.
All right, guys, have fun. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. We'll see you in the next show, which will be soon. I was trying to wait for Kadeus to come back before we end this, Michael. We'll give him, I guess, a couple more minutes. Do you have any final thoughts? I know you said the watch is out for you because it's iOS only.
Well, it sounds like in order to use it, you have to have an iPhone.
Yes, I think so.
And based on that, that doesn't work for me because I don't have an iPhone and I'm not going to switch.
And you know what else would be interesting to know? If this thing would work, for example, with an iPod Touch. I guess it won't. I guess you have to have the phone.
That's what it sounded like. I was disappointed to hear that piece because so many of the features are really nice on the Apple, on the watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the style of it. The design was really attractive.
Why do you have such an aversion to going to an iPhone?
I just bought a Samsung phone just 3 months ago.
Well, people make mistakes.
No, that wasn't a mistake.
Right. You know, the thing about this kind of a mistake is you don't have to live with that. You don't have to live with that. Hey, Kadeus, we're going to cut to Kadeus because he's a hipster and he's out in a car now. So Kadeus, we're going to wrap here. Did you have any final thoughts that you wanted to share about this event?
No, not really. Not really, not right now.
Okay. So how do you have this? I was going to comment on how great your stream was, and then it froze up a little bit. Okay. So how are you streaming right now? Do you just have your phone on the dash?
Yep, it's just I have a mount that's mounted up with QI charging, and then that's how I use the LTE connection.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Did you want to give any of your contact information out before we wrap?
Cadeus.com connects you to everything.
You own Cadeus.com?
Of course I do. I'm Cadeus. Why wouldn't I?
Oh my gosh, this guy's on top of his game. I'm telling you. So it's I'll spell it for you if you all are out there and want to take a note. It's Kadeaus. Kadeaus.com, and you can check him out. If he doesn't know it regarding technology, it doesn't need to be known, and so that's the deal there. And Michael Ellis, you can see him on Google Plus Week every Friday night with Dan McDermott, hanging out with Dan McDermott. And me, I can be found on CraigShipp.com. See my lower third there, CraigShipp.com, and I've got a link to my media, my YouTube channel. I've got a bunch of product reviews and things like that. And I'll have a review up on the this watch thing as soon as they come out, and maybe some of the other stuff. So we'll see. And I've got some other reviews on some other Apple stuff if you want to take a look at that. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and again, to find Audrey, go to hoopinglive.com, and we will see you all next time, and check out twit.tv for Leo Laporte's coverage. He's going to be doing a live, I think, Mac Break Weekly here in a couple minutes to recap on everything that's going on and to report on the hands-on and all that they'll be doing here after the event. So check that out, twit.tv. Thanks everybody for watching. Until next time, we will see you.